the viewers. It'll be super
Great.
interesting.
It'll be great. It'll be something to talk about.
It'll be so great.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Are we live?
Yep.
We're live.
So in the Jumanji trailer,
Wait, hold up a second.
What?
Hello to everyone who's here right now. Hello. We'll be starting in 10 minutes. If you're watching our live, if you're watching our live recording, wait 10 minutes. If you're watching our recording on YouTube and this doesn't get trimmed out, skip ahead 10 minutes. Okay, now back to our random chatter while we get things together. Okay. You may continue now,
in the Jumanji trailer, it stars like a bunch of kids. You have like a preppy girl, a nerdy girl, I guess normal guy.
Oh God, I just don't care.
And a black guy.
Normal guy.
Yeah.
Nobody loves normal guy.
Screen. I don't see a timer. Heads up.
No, it's there. I see
it's
it.
There.
I see it. It's there. I trust my
there it is.
There was a white screen, and I had to reinitialize Roll20 and redo the tab and blah 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 blah.
So I get the feeling you guys want to hear more about Jumanji. So
yeah, sure, why not?
So anyway, they are cleaning out the school's like thing because they all have detention, and they find this old gaming system where they're like, "Oh, let's play it." So they turn on the gaming system, and they all.
It's not even a board game anymore.
No, it's the modern era.
It's the ancient video game.
It's the ancient video Atari game. So they. What? Sorry, you were breaking out there. Try one more time.
Inferno roboted, yay!
Jesus. What?
That's a pretty special.
Okay, I can hear you now. Inferno. What was your question about the Jumanji trailer?
Oh wow, really? Wow, I really like behind. I said what Spiral said, which is it's a freaking video game?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll continue. So they all pick their favorite characters. Preppy girl picks the curvy character. Nerdy guy plays The Rock, and then there's the rest of them no one really cares about. So anyway, they all get sucked into the video game, into like this jungle, and the normal guy is now The Rock. The cheerleader is now Jack Black, and that's all you really need to know, I guess.
I'm not watching this movie.
Jack Black has to act like a teenage girl.
What?
So,
as tempting as that is, I'm still not watching that movie.
I mean, The Rock is not a teenage girl, but Jack Black is.
So, like, do they finally admit they have feelings for each other, and then Jet Black and The Rock make out?
I really hope that
gay
there's
shenanigans.
Like, I really hope so. Like that.
If that does happen, I will watch it.
Yeah, that's such forward thinking. Like in a very bizarre. Yeah, because it's like I'm role playing these two characters are in love. I'm role playing that Jack Black is in love with The Rock.
This is disturbing. Hello? Can't hear you, Squee.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey!
Alright, now that I've wasted 3 minutes, does someone want to explain to me what happened last session?
Sure.
Oh my God.
So we were supposed to do... Okay, well, we still have... What's on your timer? Like 7 minutes left?
6.5.
Okay, so I got 6.5 minutes to recap this. Alright. They decided... they stabilized the shaman Inuit, Nilak. He managed to get out on his own feet. The party left the frozen meteor. They said goodbye to the two Inuit, Nilak and Bunik, after making sure Nilak could journey on his own. They invited them to come with them, at least down to where the spirits of light are, so they could see what they helped them out with. But the Inuit rejected the idea, saying that they wanted to journey back, and it was still a part of their, for lack of a better word, like ritual hunt type of thing, right? The little ferry bot got onto the Rhapsody, and maybe about 5 minutes after being set up in a room, started wandering around. He tore a hole in one of the vents and ended up being by the power source, in which he admitted that he had been cooped up doing his rudimentary experiments on the crystals in the frozen meteor, that he wanted to actually do and apply something, So he's willing, as a part of his deal that he has made with Patrick, to examine magical items, to add in a secondary backup power source. This one not based on any sort of solar or nuclear or diesel engine power source, but instead of the power source being magical energy, PPE, right? Something that could be charged up from a ley line, or a caster could put their own personal PPE into it, regardless. Kind of as a backup power source for the Rhapsody, and a power source in which other parties could draw from.
Is that that seems like a pretty big power source then?
It is. It
Okay.
is in theory, but yeah, they're the party, or Patrick and Tom are giving up 2 very powerful magical suits of armor for the sake of it. So it kind of balances out.
Yeah, that's true.
So the party heads back to that little kind of sacred space by that ley line nexus in northern Michigan, and sure enough, they buried the 3 rocks, and from the 3 rocks, once again, spring 3 more of these spirits of light. They look very different from Ambriel. They don't look like cherubs. They have one is a tall, slender, beautiful female spirit of light with these silver wings. One is big, muscular, and golden skin and golden wings, and like silver knight's armor. And another one has like pearls for eyes. He's the biggest out of all of them, and he has like garments that look like it's shifting waves, like a toga that's made of water.
Ooh.
To kind of summarize everything, the spirits were very grateful for them being freed. They spoke with Ambriel and have agreed to make the main characters, so Al, Tom, Ellie, Patrick, and Lavin, their champions as well, because there's another much more important quest than the quest for their own liberation. It is involving the doomsday prophecies, these great dangers that are going to face the earth. And although they themselves do not know the secrets of the swarm, they do know of a mysterious race that travels through different dimensions and times, and that does know, that is connected to the swarm in some sort of fashion, and could give you the secrets that you seek. They said that once you're ready for the journey in a few days' time, in order for you to take care of your what needs to be done still here on your home planet, when you return to the spot, they will open up a rift to the last place these mysterious creatures, these mysterious travelers, these wanderers had been to. And you are to follow the clues, make contact with them, and find out what you know from them. And in order to come back to Earth and spread and apply that information to help defeat the swarm.
Oh, neat.
There's one last thing you should know. I gotta open up my last week's notes, because the blessings that you got provided some bonuses to your character.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So first, obviously, Ambriel, he gave you the bonus to help with your horror factor and your physical resolve.
Mhm.
The large golden angel, his name was Erithal, and he gave his blessing was called the Seed of Protection. Pretty much this is a one-time only thing, but after invoking the words "Protect me now in my time of need," you will instantaneously heal all SDC damage you have sustained. So all of it. If you're down to none, if you're near death, dying on the door, you've lost all your SDC, almost all your hit points are gone. Put that in. Your hit points will still be hurt, but your SDC will be filled to the max. It's, for lack of a better word, a last gasp type of blessing.
Okay.
That actually raises an interesting question. What happens if someone has SDC but no HP?
If you have no HP, you die.
Okay.
You can't.
Guys, just making sure.
If you have no HP, you go into a coma, and then there's a good chance you will die.
so this thing will only help us if we still have at least 1 or 2 hit points.
Just
You
as
have
a
to be able to
reminder,
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just as a reminder, and this is a good refresher for people who've just joined in or are new to Palladium system. I personally do like the differentiation between hit points and SDC. Hit points are like your core critical vital signs, right? Once you start losing those, that's an indicator that you are dying. SDC are it's something that you see in action movies or Western films or something like that. You take a couple shots, you take some bruises, take a crack on the head, and you're hurt, but you can still fight. You can still move, right? You're not dying. You're wounded, right? So anyway, it is very, 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 very rare for an attack, any SDC attack, a physical attack against you, hits your SDC before it hits your hit points. Only some real strange and powerful magics or abilities would bypass your SDC and hit your hit points directly. You've only come across one of those individuals, and that was a mutant in orbit, who, if he touched you, would harm directly your hit points. Regardless, that was one blessing. The other blessing, the other 2 blessings, one was by Mir. That is just give me a moment. There's an ice cream van outside.
I was like, it's so beautiful.
As our GM runs to get ice cream.
No shit, right?
I mean, who could resist? Let's be
Yeah.
honest here. I say not eating ice cream at the moment.
Guys, ice cream van. I have to go and get ice cream.
Yeah, go. We don't blame you.
No, I'm fine. Anyway, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so Mir, the beautiful, thin, silver-winged spirit of light, gave a weapon bless ritual. So, what weapon would you want her to bless?
Hammer.
Okay.
Time.
So your hammer now has a permanent +2 bonus to strike. So, in addition to any other bonuses, a +1 to parry, and a +10 to damage.
Holy balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is also a holy weapon. So any
Sweet.
creature, anything that can be harmed even more so or can only be harmed by holy weapons can now be harmed by your hammer.
Okay.
So-
The holy hammer is now a thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Did anybody else notice 4 of 5 of us used melee weapons
Yeah.
for that?
Yeah.
I only have melee, so.
I will say I seriously
My defense.
considered using his juicer rifle, but it's not what I'm doing with Al right now. Besides, sharp deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then the final blessing that your character received was one by Cassiel. That was the pearl-eyed spirit of light with the clothes of running water. His ritual was, may evil always thirst. When it was completed, so as long as your character is righteous and good, forsaking brutality, torture, and carnage, you will be immune from the possession of any supernatural force.
Ooh.
So, yeah, handy. No one's going to be taking over your body.
Well, depending on who's in charge, I guess. All right. Cool. Sounds
Oh.
great. Yeah, I got that all
Hey,
written down.
Did that techno fairy ever agree to fix the holes he made in our ship?
Nope, you never asked him to.
I wasn't there, so I don't even know the holes exist yet.
Fairy bot, but I guess Techno Fairy also works too.
Yeah.
Sure. Excellent. Okay, now that we're all caught up and our timer's all done and everyone is here, I want to welcome everybody to our weekly Rift session. I just want to give a quick shout out, just a refresher on some news that we got this week, that we are now partnered with Palladium Books. Nothing's going to change other than they will be support. They're providing us some very nice support of these live streams. And yeah. And hello to everyone in chat. We'll be interacting probably just via text so we don't stop with the session itself. But we're really glad that you're all here. And let's get going. Do we have any art to show off beforehand?
Do.
I think we
Oh, we do. Oh, geez.
Okay.
Oh,
We have a couple. We have a Tyrath and we have a Lavin, I do believe.
Yeah. Let me try
And
pull
a-
these up.
And two Tyraths.
Oh,
You still
Double
using the
Tyrath.
Rift
Yes.
Fell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we with the Rifty Fell hashtag. Yep.
here
Lavin
is...
has a face. Oh, sorry.
Yes. First here is Tyrath, made by
Yay!
Mackenzie. The brightest Tyrath ever to breathe, and he has a lampshade on him.
Now, is he just partying hard? Is
Yes.
that the behind the scenes? Okay.
That's
What-
that
what
in
would-
his college
what would-
days.
Wait,
We
what
were
would-
talking about the Tyrath special and how that Tyrath was lampshading how like bad GMs GM, like he was railroading people. He was actively
Gotcha.
trying to kill the players. So
Oh.
Mackenzie heard lampshading, so she took it to a literal sense.
Now, for fun, what does a drunk Tyrath sound like? Inferno?
You know what? You're gonna have to find out.
God damn it!
A
We're gonna have
good GM never reveals his NPC secrets so
Great.
easily.
New goal.
The next time Tyrath comes, Ellie's there with like wine, trying to get him to drink.
You're gonna need a lot, I think.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe he's a lightweight.
All right. What else we got there, Bird?
We have Lavin.
Lavian.
Pretty
He's finally
badass.
got official
Yeah.
art.
I hold by this, and I mean this in the coolest way possible. He looks like the most badass Vietnam veteran I've ever seen. Like, you just look at him and you're like,
It's
that's
the coat.
He's
Yeah.
seen some stuff. Well, it's the
How
look, too.
How many Vietnam vets do you know have cybernetic eyes?
I'm pretty sure Rambo did.
Only
Pretty sure Rambo did.
Yeah.
Okay.
only the few.
And here is the final Tyrath picture,
This is
done by
wicked.
Glassrose.
Silent Bell.
Wicked good.
This is really great.
This is amazing. I love this. Allie, you're just amazing. I love your art, and I love you. You're great. Is this too much? Is this weird? Okay, I'm gonna stop
Well,
talking.
let's just dial it back 10.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry,
Let's
man.
let's take 5 to 10% off there.
Okay, I like you a lot, Allie.
It's
That is adequate. Well done.
it's really well detailed and nice. I love it.
Yeah, it's super good.
But with that, let's get started. Before we get into the session itself, are there any questions from the players to me or to each other?
I do not believe
Lincoln.
any from me.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
You don't
No.
have to. I just want to make sure.
Are we all
We're-
good with the idea of trying to find Giovanni?
Yes. Also, I'd like to say I need to get some gloves, some power armor gloves. So maybe stopping by a place that has access to such things would be nice. But other than that, I'm pretty.
I think I need to get my
Flexible,
helmet
so
fixed.
That might be true too. Yeah.
Because no, was it my helmet? What did the little guy
Yeah, your
fuck
helmet
up?
got bashed up.
Okay,
There's some fixing that needs to be done on
because
my end too.
he poked and prodded it, and then I was laughing at the painful gas. Good times. Good times.
Good times. Good times.
Squee, could you send me the cold resistance spell details?
Sure.
Thank you.
We'll do so.
Okay. With that, we're going to get into the session with the spirits of light departing for now, waiting for your return. You're still in this kind of peaceful, sacred ground. I'm assuming about to board the Rhapsody or preparing your next steps.
Mhm.
So let's just quickly, break down some of your options. Let's just break down a few things that you guys want to do, and we can decide what you want to do first. So, one is on the docket is finding Giovanni Firebrand, also known as the Firebrand, Giovanni, Tom's old mentor. You want to get some repairs and replacements done for your armor. What else?
Make sure that all the crew is interested and okay with coming with us.
Sure. Okay. That's okay. Good.
So
Good.
team-
And this one's
Yeah.
gonna sound a little odd, but hear me out. I need to find some cadavers.
No, that doesn't sound odd at all. You
Okay,
sick
good.
fuck.
I'm
Al
Picking up
needs to-
necromancy?
No, not necessarily. But Al needs to start.
Not necessarily.
Not
No.
necessarily. If Al's ever actually going to earn his the last skills he needs as a doctor, he needs to practice surgery, and he's not going to practice it on living people, or you know what I mean, like, or he'll just have to wait until lots of living people get hurt, which he doesn't want either. So having some form of cadaver or something, or some method so that he can train on his own in his lab would be very helpful.
Okay, I'll let that be a party thing. Okay, so that's another thing that might be an objective before you go through the rift.
I mean, and we also
Anything
need
else?
we also do need to get Lee. That-
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
Lee.
make sure
Okay.
he's cool with that, because he might
Sure.
have some reservations.
Well, he
Yeah.
did volunteer to help stop this
that's true.
devourer.
But at
So-
the same time, he did say, I'm pretty sure he did say that he hates dimensional travel now.
Well, I guess you'll have to touch base back in on
Yeah.
him with
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah, might have to touch base with him in regards to that.
Uh-huh.
But okay, so we have the objectives here. What do you guys want to do first? The since all the NPCs are on board the Rhapsody, do you want to have your team meeting first just to see where everybody stands?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So I'll take the reins here a little bit, if that's okay. So after with the ship still landed, so everybody is unoccupied. Go ahead, Piph.
Sorry, I did actually have something.
Okay.
Patrick would actually check out through his particular magical sensory means to maybe see a bit closer onto the enchantment that was put onto his gun. Basically, just verifying to himself that it is a holy enchantment.
Okay, what spell do you want to use?
I
Or
guess it would
ability,
be,
or object, or yeah.
yeah, it would be like sense magic. I guess he would still just do the array of like sea aura and sense magic.
Okay. You have to just give me a moment. I'll have to just look up to see if any of them actually hint at whether the weapon is holy or not, because that's what you want to know, right?
Yes, I think it does actually show alignment for sea aura.
Okay. But typically has to be a living thing, I think. Let's find out. Sea aura. Sea aura. Backwards. Sea aura. Invocation. All things. Oh, no. All things organic and inorganic have an aura. Okay. So the general level experience is like low, medium, or high. It's high. There's a presence of magic. There's no presence of psionic abilities. It doesn't have its own PPE base. There's no possessing entity. Oh, wait, it says right here, note, cannot tell one's alignment from sea aura.
Shoot.
Yeah, the presence of unusual human aberration, which indicates an illness if they're non-human or mutant, but doesn't specify which.
Yeah. I think that's it. I guess that's just another spell. Oh well.
Yeah. Hey, let me just look up its sense magic here.
I think it's just being like, hey, do you sense that if there's magic here or not? Which is an interesting ability, I guess. Like, if it's an active spell.
Yeah, the sense magic is... Yeah, you just feel magical energy, whether it's near or far, and you can follow the emanations up to a point. Yep. If the item is enchanted or under a magic spell, you can tell that too. And if a person is casting a spell. Yeah, so you'll have to take the Spirits of Light's words on it that it is a holy weapon.
Okay.
Okay, am I good to continue?
Yes.
Wonderful. So, with the Rhapsody landed, I guess, honestly, because there's so many people aboard the Rhapsody now, and some you have the choice. You can either meet in the cargo room where everyone's standing, or you can meet in, for lack of a better word, kind of the entertainment room, but it's going to be relatively crowded. About half people will be able to sit, maybe 3/4, and a couple people will have to stand during it. But where would you like to hold the meeting?
Let's go with the cargo hold.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You get aboard the cargo hold on the Rhapsody and ask everyone to come on down. A few folks come out of the Behemoth. A few folks meander down from the hallways. The last one to show up is, by the way, did get the name of the ferry bot. His name is Aid Wildspec. Mm-hmm. So Wildspec, or Aid, is the last to arrive, since he explained that he was busy doing his investigations in regards to this. So with all your friends, friends and acquaintances, put before you, I'll kind of just break down who's all here, for just as a refresher for you all, if that works.
Yeah, I guess that's probably good.
Okay, you got Morgan McLaughlin. He was the former head of security at Parents Post. Now he's learning how to drive the Rhapsody via Alicia. Zoe Wedgwood, you guys know Zoe. She was the former manager of the Endless Storytellers. She's kind of in charge of organization and being Parents' proxy, for lack of it. Marlis Stotch, the former doctor, adventurer, alchemist, and poet. The fine elderly gentleman with a slight English accent is there, who also apparently had a love affair with the ex-mob boss, apparently, or I guess I should say black market, Angela Duvet, the dame. You also have, of course, our dear beloved Bear, Alicia, Blank, and August. In addition, you have your more recent arrivals, Jalea Castle, and her friends, Yasmin Harrison, also known as Rose, due to the rose tattoo on her cheek, and Basilisk, also known as Corbin Berger, a Psy Stalker and party goer, as well as Ezex, a scruffy, mangy, boorish, and frankly sometimes gross terrier type of dog boy. So with all these individuals accumulated in the cargo bay, they look to you for the explanation for the meeting.
Hey, so as you guys probably saw through the many windows that we have, we came back here and we freed the beings of light, the angels. They told us of a certain species that reside through these rifts in different dimensions, and this species is a natural enemy of the first big danger that's coming to Earth, which is the main reason why we're here. We're trying to gather together information and people and forces to hopefully potentially ward off these dangers. That's our main goal, but we don't necessarily want to be the ones to... Anyways, that all being said, in order to contact these dimensional beings, we would have to go through a rift, go to a different dimension, go continuously hopping until we find them. Question is, would this be something that you guys would be interested in? Would you guys be willing to travel with us for an unknown amount of time?
Zoe is the first to speak up, and she says, okay, so you don't know how long. Do you know where you're going? Do you know how dangerous it's going to be?
It should be as dangerous as it is here, I would think. Not in this...
So very dangerous, yeah. She says with a bit of a
the truth of the matter is we have no idea, no way of gauging.
So you're looking for volunteers to go into the unknown. asks Yasmin.
I don't know if looking for volunteers is quite the way I would put it. You don't want to go, you don't want to go.
Yeah. And if you don't want to go, we'll drop you off wherever you wish.
The short of it is that we all know there's something coming, even if we don't know what, and we know it's going to be very bad. And we may have a chance of helping with that. I don't
Helping to
know what,
prevent it.
but yes.
You want to figure out the what? Is that it? Asks Marla Stodge.
That is it, indeed, exactly.
I see. And this was imparted to you by the spirits of light?
Yes.
I see, says Marla Stodge. And although he is in contemplation, you can see an excited sparkle in his eyes. Alicia says, well, it's all a moot point. I go where you go. I swore to you an oath a few years back, and we've been on, she says, a hell of a ride already. So, yeah.
Right on. High five.
She heads on over and she gives Lavin a awkward high five, a gesture that she has recently learned from hanging out with this particular group. Basilisk, Ezex, and Yasmin look towards Jalea, and she has a very hard-to-read, stoic, and passive face. Al, you know that she is in significant contemplation.
Got
August says, well, do we need to give you an answer right now, or can't we think on this for a little bit?
Oh, you can think on it. There are a couple of things that we want to do. Namely, we want to get in touch with Lee, and I'm gonna need your help. And he's gonna point to Zoe, to try and track down Giovanni again.
I see, she says. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Don't want to get too off track into what you're asking for us. Mm-hmm. Zoe says, we may need to arrange for you to, at the very least, drop me off by Perrin's post so I can talk to Daniel.
Absolutely.
Our arrangement, has changed a little bit as far as our arrangement goes, so I'll have to confer with him first.
Mm-hmm.
Before I can give you a firm answer, she says.
It's completely
fine. August kind of adjusts his glasses a little bit, and he says, well, I do have to say this is unexpected, but let's just take stock of exactly where I've been ever since I signed on with your mercenary troop, he says the terms sarcastically. We have been into the orbit of space, all the way to Mars. We have been to the Arctic and back. We have meddled ourselves in dozens of intrigues. This almost seems like a natural progression, he says. And you have protected me well, and I like to think I have provided adequate assistance. So what the heck? Yeah, you got me in.
Woo!
Bear simply says softly, where you go, Nora, I will go if you will have me. You have always known this, and it will be always true.
She gives Bear a thumbs up.
He gives an awkward thummy claw up and to mirror your reaction. Blink nods a little bit after what Bear says, and her eyes kind of drift along the group, but hang a little bit more on Tom as she says, yeah, I'm with Bear. Where you go, I go. It's just that simple. With that, the high, tinny, buzzy words, alien speech of Aid Wildspec, the fairy bot, begin to resound out. And the translator in his small bubble-like vessel begins to translate. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. We made our own deal, and I'm not going to any dimension other than my own. I'm glad it will take a few days in order to resolve this. By that time, My particular skills will allow the conversion to your power source to be completed, as well as my own analysis. I require very little sleep, nor could I get any even if I wanted to. Once I am finished, I imagine we will part ways quite amicably.
Sounds good.
So wait, I just want to make. Oh wait. Let's see. We heard from Alicia, Blink, August, Bear. Zoe says we gotta talk with Morgan McLaughlin. Morgan McLaughlin looks a little unsure, and he says, He says, when Finger paired me up on with this, I knew it was going to be some pretty crazy stuff, but this is crazier than crazy. I'm going to have to sleep on it at least one day, and I'll let you know, okay?
No problem.
Okay. Zoe's, and then Marlis, after he's gotten a bit of feel from everyone else, he says, well, I suppose a gentleman of my age should follow the young McLaughlin's lead to take sober reflection and truly evaluate the situation. But frankly, I've been around this world long enough to understand the importance of spirits of light. I am a roamer. I enjoy a new challenge, and I thought I was going to retire. But you know what I think? I say to hell with retirement. I'll be by your side. Different dimensions, different experiences. How can a man such as myself turn that down? I would have to be mad. Absolutely mad. And I still have a few marbles rolling around my old head.
We'll be glad to have you.
Good. With that, the clear silence and the awkwardness comes towards, for lack of a better word, Jalea Castle's group. Mims, her robotic companion, stands there attentively, her domestic facade not shifting, and you can hear the small whirring of her energy core playing in the background. Yasmin clears her throat, and she looks towards Jalea and kind of gives a reassuring squeeze on her wrist, and she says, she looks over to Al, and she says, could you and I have a quick word in private?
Al shrugs. Of course.
Excellent. As Yasmin and Al move to a more private place in which to speak, you hear Basilisk say out, yeah, the whole sleeping on it idea is probably not a bad thing. Emotions are kind of high with, the sibling thing, so I think Ezex and we're going to do some deep, hard drinking. I mean, thinking. And we'll get to you. We'll see what comes up with that. Yeah. And Ezex kind of gives like a tittering, gruff laugh. And although both of them are trying to be really cool to pass this off, you could cut the tension between Jalea and them and Yasmin with a knife. The uncertainty is palpable. And I suppose this is the way those two rogues are planning to cope with that. Mm-hmm. Regardless, they excuse themselves. And we're going to just very quickly, if it's okay by you, shift the scene towards Yasmin and Al. Groovy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Sure.
Okay. So where do you want to take Yasmin on the ship for this private conversation, Al?
Probably just like the next room or two over. Definitely out of hearing range, but not so far that it becomes an awkward journey. Okay,
we'll say it's a supply room.
Sure.
Just beside the cargo bay, where you can see very recently, you had a quite large stockpile of materials, both to repair the armor and the internals of the Rhapsody itself, the electronics, the so on and so forth. It has recently been rated by Aid Wildspec considerably. So although the supply room that you're in is far from tidy and neat, it's very messy. So you step over some old cables and sheets of metal, but you're able to close the door behind you. And Yasmin looks over to you, and for the first time, you've seen in this stern woman's face a look of sympathy. And she says, "You are in a horrible situation right now. And you have my sympathies with this. I guess, I don't know, what do you want me to call you? Jordan? Al? One of your other, nicknames?"
Jordan's fine. Al, if it's more comfortable, that's what everyone calls me. I learned a long time ago that names don't mean as much to me as people.
Huh, she says as she lightly scratches the rose on her cheeks. Regardless, Al, I guess. Yeah. Jalea is still more than a little upset. And she has it completely in her mind that she's going to stick with you until she meets this Tyrath creature, this person who changed your body and have you changed back. And she kind of looks to the ground and she looks up to you. And once again, that sympathetic look is on her face. And she says, the likelihood of that happening is really, really low, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It is not something that I am completely opposed to, but even if it were possible, it would no doubt be dangerous.
So, she says, either one of two things are going to happen. She's going to travel with you long enough to come with terms with everything, and that is going to take a long time. Or she's going to cut loose. She's going to just give you up for dead and go on her own way. Maybe go back home or something like that.
Those thoughts had crossed my mind as well.
So the question I guess I got for you is, what do you want? I mean, the whole reason you brought us aboard this space vessel of yours was to protect all of us. But really, you don't care as much about me or Basilisk or Ezex as much as you do your sister. And that's okay. I don't blame you at all for that. But you want to protect her, right?
You'd be surprised. You kept my sister safe. I would do anything I could for any one of you.
Okay, well, that aside.
But I understand, however much she may think I don't, some of what she's going through. And I understand how hard it is to struggle against what she has to come to terms with. If you believe that I am me, or that there's a chance that I am who I say I am, then it means that she has to rethink everything she's ever been taught, as I did. And the only conclusion I can come to is that the harder I push for her to come to a conclusion I want, the more I'm going to lose her.
Okay. So, putting all that aside, the question is safety, right? You all just said you had no idea how long you were going to go or how dangerous it was going to be. If you love your sister, do you want her to come with you? Or do you want her to stay back?
I don't know.
Well, that's not good, she says, because she don't know either. It looks like both of you are waiting for the other one to make the move. She's waiting for you to say, it's too dangerous, go, or I need you, stay. And you're waiting for her to say, I need to be with you, or I want nothing to do with you.
I see.
Problem is I'm starting to learn that you castles are kind of stubborn.
All right, then. I'll make a decision. If it has to be made, she is never going to be able to trust I am her brother if she is not here to see me. The
Okay.
situation, the circumstance is just too unbelievable to believe at a distance.
Okay. Well, do you a favor. I'll pass that on to her. Ultimately, it's going to be her decision. But I'll tell you one more other thing right now. What you got with your little friends there is what we got with Jalea. She is our dear friend, and we have been through shit for both her and, in a way, for you. So we're not going to leave her off with some weird crew in a spaceship going to another dimension. We're going to stay with her. We're going to look after her. So we're a package deal. You got it?
Al nods, and surprisingly, his eyes kind of get more merry, and he kind of smiles. He says, "But just think of what we could find, what we could see, what we could experience. Once in a lifetime opportunity."
I guess, she says. I guess I can't share the same enthusiasm with you. Maybe because I haven't seen as much as you have. Maybe I just have a better sense of self-preservation. She gives kind of a cocky smirk, and that look of sympathy has now once again faded. And you see the firmer look that you first met, Yasmin, as she sizes you up.
Al kind of chuckles and goes, "Maybe." So I should go there and tell her what I want, is what you're saying?
Not right now. It'll seem too forceful. Give her some time. I'm her closest confidant. I'll let her know our conversation that we had. It's up to her to make the decision what she wants to do, right? So, I think it's better to go that way, don't you?
Yeah. I'll trust you in that.
Okay.
And Yasmin.
Yeah.
Thank you for looking after her.
Yeah, you're welcome, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're welcome, she says. Clearly awkward at the thanks, but giving just a bit of a shrug and opening up the door and stepping loose.
And Al will follow her quietly.
With that, the little meeting itself kind of naturally breaks up on board the Rhapsody. So you got mostly yeses. We just got a couple of maybes, which will be reinforced a little bit later on in the session. Groovy beans?
Yeah. There's one last thing that I want to tell Zoe.
Okay, yeah.
Keep in mind that a lot of the technology and stuff that we got from space was really, really rare and sought after and lucrative. Imagine stuff from a different dimension.
She says, yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he wouldn't be on board with it at all.
Yeah.
It's just, she pauses for a moment. One thing about Giovanni, I don't know where he is now. When you guys initially left the Storytellers after the incident with the Screaming Banshees, when they broke my arm, they tried to intimidate us, they harassed us, they followed us.
Yeah.
Giovanni, for lack of a better word, he quit. I know he went back to Perrin's post, but after that, not too sure. Daniel will probably know more. So I guess that's two reasons for me needing to talk with them. My suggestion is this. Daniel Perrin is still a coalition informant. And I can tell you right now, we can't just land that ship nearby and walk into his post like it's nothing. You'll probably need to land far away. You'll need to let me go on my own. And since Daniel and I have a bit of a history together, it won't look strange for us to have a conversation or two in private. I'll be able to get a message out to you, letting you know what Perrin knows in regards to Giovanni, the firebrand, and also what both mine and his intentions are with this new information.
Sounds good to
about
me.
you wanting to head off into other dimensions and all that.
Mhm.
She says. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, my friends. Okay, so you got the NPCs down. What else on your checklist do you guys want to work on? I can see clearly kind of two options right now. You can head down to New Laszlo and get Lee, and when you're down in New Laszlo, you can get some repairs done and all that good stuff. Or you can head up to Parents Post, and while you're waiting for Zoe's message with Daniel Perrin, I'm sure some party members might be able to do some repairs on the armor by themselves, so you can get your repairs done. You would still need to pick up gloves, but I kind of see two destinations right now: New Laszlo and Perrin's Post. Is everyone else getting kind of that vibe?
I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to me.
I am also getting that vibe. Yeah.
So the only question is which destination do you guys want to go to first?
I'm good with either. What about you
Okay.
guys?
I honestly think Parents Post might be best to do first, so we can get that out of the way, if that makes any sense. Plus, yeah, I think that one probably be the better one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I vote for
time-wise.
parents. What?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
time wise. Oh, yeah. No, I've my vote's Parents Post.
Great. Well then, my friends, I shall start narrating you there. Let me just bring us on to our little map. Oh no! I clicked the link on my
What?
little ribbon, and I exited Roll20. Okay, here I am again. I'm just trying to find the map of northern Michigan that has Parents Post on. There it is. Boop. Drag y'all over.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, by the way, your current destination is, let me get to the right thing, is right there. Can you see the red ping?
Yeah.
That's the ley line nexus that you are currently at. This really nice area. Anywho, that aside, you get into the Rhapsody and you make way to Parents Post, which is less than an hour away destination. Now, the last time you approached Parents Post, what you did is there's a very large lake to the north, and there's a slightly smaller lake further up to the north of Parents Post. When you were there, you were able to maneuver the Rhapsody to pretty much inconspicuously slide into that lake and disembark beforehand and then put it in the lake. Do you want to do something similar, or do you want to have a different approach to getting near Parents Post?
Yeah, it worked last time.
Okay. So as folks disembark from the Rhapsody itself, those deciding to staying inside the Rhapsody, Aid Wildspec postulates that in another day or two he'll be finished with everything that I need, so he's going to stay on the Rhapsody and keep doing his research in regards to the magic items and the conversion of the PPE battery. Zoe, as she disembarks, suggests to the party that you allow her to go to Parents Post alone. She'll borrow one of your vehicles, and she'll make contact with Finger, let him know what the situation is, and then she'll say that she has absolutely no idea what the intelligence situation is on Parents Post. She suggests that there very likely will be eyes or interests to her arrival, so it'd be very conspicuous if she were to meet with Perrin for an hour or two and then disembark. If she was to disembark and head directly to you, very likely that she would be followed. So more than likely what will happen, and she'll suggest to Finger this, is that she will ask for him to send a reliable messenger back up to where you are now, so you can pass on a message as to what the decisions are and the whereabouts, if Finger knows them, of the firebrand. She kind of gives a very reassuring smile to Tom, and she says, Finger is known for having a vast network of friends and informants. So if Giovanni is still alive, I have a feeling he'd at least know which direction to point us in. But, thoughts on the plan?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. She suggests that even though the messenger might be trusted, it might be best to keep the Rhapsody hidden for the entire period of time and just simply make a simple camp here by the lake until you hear back.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So with that, she is okay if she borrows one of the ATVs. She does know how to drive an ATV.
Yes.
Okay. She'll borrow one of the ATVs and head on down to Parents Post. So she'll be gone for a little while. So we're going to, for the sake of brevity for our session, we can speed up a little bit. But I want to leave some time if you guys want to interact with each other or say something specifically that you want to be doing. I know Lavin recently has his new Falcon there that he might want to do or kind of train with. You guys might want to talk with each other, might want to talk or interact with one of the NPCs. This is a perfect time to do so. If you don't have anything in mind, no big deal. I just have a few small interactions while time passes, and we'll continue on.
I do have one. It's more of a question, actually, as to if what Al would know or if he could ask around others on the ship that might know. So I mentioned something about getting cadavers, but that's not like the necessary thing. The necessary thing is a way for him to train. So would he know of a better or another way, maybe some sort of equipment that would be used for such a thing? Or would someone else on the ship, like one of the NPCs, possibly know?
Perhaps something like some kind of gelatin to simulate
yeah,
flesh?
basically something to practice being a cyber doc is really what he needs. He's got the basics down, but he needs to get better at it.
Alicia suggests that you can start cutting Lavin open and use him as your test dummy.
I'm
That's
down.
just a joke. That's just a joke.
I'm down.
August says, it's a shame that we're not back up in orbit. I'm confident, and I actually came across some of it through their network of virtual reality programs that will allow a digital simulation of a variety of skills. I'm certain surgery would be there, but as far as I know, that's not on the Rhapsody's archives. And frankly, I never came across anything like that on Earth, on the planet. So I guess the digital method is out. August just suggested, I just suggest you read, become knowledgeable. Once you have to actually do it in practice, it might be a little rusty, but other than that, that's how anybody learns.
Yes, but unfortunately, surgery is something that must be practiced, not just read.
Okay. He says, then I don't volunteer. I do not volunteer.
I wouldn't expect you to, my friend.
Okay, so out of character, I can't think of anything. Can you guys?
Okay.
Nah.
VR would have been my suggestion, but you covered that.
Yeah.
Maybe
VR would've
Patrick
been
can
really
make
good.
a gelatin substance that's human.
Or
We make
question,
a dummy.
Question. Is there mega damage plastic in this world?
Of
On
course.
Earth.
There's literally
Yeah,
a body
there's one
armor
called a
called
Plastic
Plastic Man.
Okay.
It is made
Now-
of high-impact plastics.
What about rubber?
Mega damage rubber?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is...
Mega
well,
damage tires? and
not
that kind of thing?
specifically. There's mega damage tires. They aren't made entirely of rubber. There's some rubber in them, much like the plastics. It's been treated to have stronger chemical compounds, blah, 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 blah. Yes, there are mega damage tires, yep.
Okay. How about this? You practice mainly on mega damaged materials because they are sort of abundant and you can make kind of like a quote-unquote ham hock out of a metal rod in the middle, surrounded by mega damage rubber, and then surround that in a skin of mega damage plastic.
Here's
But
here's
he
the
would
thing.
need mega damage implements.
Well,
He
here's the
does.
thing, and this is kind of a GM thing as well, but installing cybernetics to a body means attaching things to a nervous system and
Yep.
a circulatory
True.
system.
Veins and stuff.
skeletal.
Yeah, like way
Yeah.
more complicated.
I
would
don't
think.
think
I have no,
a
I have
rubber.
no idea then.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was going with cadavers, because getting some cybernetics and dead bodies is the only way I can literally think of to practice such a thing.
The only other thing I can see it doing it is of learning it properly is being the, for lack of the word, apprentice, or
That's
more
what I was gonna
specifically assistant to another cyber doc. So you're
Right.
not the lead surgeon, but you're a backup surgeon. So you can see how it's done and help with some minor practices.
Mhm, absolutely.
But do
and
you
that
really
would-
have the time, and do
Exactly.
you know a
So,
cyber doc?
Looks
willing
like
to
I'm going to be
come
looking
forward
for
with it?
cadavers.
Well,
I'm going to be a regular
um,
Sherlock Holmes up in here.
What I would suggest is if you already have the know-how and you just need practice, then just something that can give you hand-eye coordination might be the best option.
Wait, what about installing installing cybernetics and stuff on, because we have one of our light labor robots, because cybernetics
what?
can
Fuck
be
it.
put into robots, right?
I've got 2 ears.
No.
I'm not going to test on you, Lavin.
Come on.
No.
Okay,
see,
the only
again-
other suggestion, the problem is that the robotics is different than cybernetics, so you can't just test on a labor bot and be like, this is like a human. It doesn't work that way. The only other thing just to kind of end up this conversation, the only other thing I can think of is, like it was suggested in the chat, use animals, use pigs, use cows. It's not human. It's not human flesh, but with all due respect, how many people do you know are going to be like, yes, my loved one who just passed away, please take his body forever?
I was
No.
actually thinking animal cadavers to begin with.
Yeah.
So yes, but
So I guess
okay.
we'll have to keep an eye out.
We
Got
could
it.
just go hunting. Hell, we
Yeah,
got
we
to
could
wait a
just
day
go
here, right?
hunting.
Actually, you have some time
I-
to kill. You can
I
go
am a
hunting now.
falcon.
Yeah.
I need to
Yay!
train, and I have
Hunting!
wilderness survival. I'll go kill a deer.
Yeah. The reason
You
why
can
I was
turn it
thinking,
into a cybernetic deer.
Yeah, the reason why I was thinking synthetic materials is that they don't rot. So it means like you just have this thing that you can continuously practice on. With animals, they decay.
You know,
Well,
actually,
I
it
can
might be
trank the
something-
deer. I can
Wait,
trank
wait,
the
wait,
deer,
wait.
and you
That
can
might
have
be-
a cybernetic deer.
That might be, you might be onto something in the sense of when we go to a town like New Laszlo, we could ask around and see if can someone make something for me, a training dummy or something of that nature. There's got to be hospitals there that have trained cyberdocs that maybe if I commission something or I don't know, maybe there's an option to get a not real body to practice
Like a
on.
dummy. Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Who knows?
It's
We could
possible.
check.
But hunting first.
Yes, hunting.
Okay, so great. So that's what we'll do to pass a little bit of the time here. We're gonna hunt. So who's gonna? We obviously have Lavin, along with his falcon, are going to take part. Anyone else going to hunt?
I probably should go. I mean, it's mean to ask him to do something and then not take part.
Why?
I was
My
probably
characters
gonna
do
do
that
that
all the time.
Yeah.
But that's not. But your characters aren't Al.
I don't know. Well,
I
whatever.
will go.
Your characters give quests.
I will go. I still have my flechette rifle from space.
Okay.
Oh, and actually, I do
So-
have my juicer rifle with bullets that can be used.
Okay. So Al, Tom, Lavin. Anyone else?
I am not. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
not a problem. No problem. We'll hit you guys too during this downtime as well. But let's go ahead and have ourselves a fine hunt. Wow, that sounded very British and weird. Let's
hunt.
go on a fine hunt. Yes.
Get the hounds. Off we
Yes,
go.
Go off the hound.
Tally ho.
All right, tally ho. Never mind. Tally.
Stop it.
Anyway, okay, so let's just do for the sake of some time, and I'll throw in some descriptions. But what skills do you guys want to use?
I have wilderness survival and tracking.
Okay, tracking definitely, And you also have your falconry skill
yeah.
too, right? Yeah, your falconry skill will help with the falcon finding the game and coming back and informing you, or like circling around it or something like that. So this is what we'll do for you, Lavin, for your hunting check. I'll have you do a falconry skill. No penalties, right? If you can think of anything that might increase your chances of success, let me know, and I might put in some positive modifiers. But this will be a fun, simple idea. I'll have you roll D100. The amount you succeed by, you can add in a bonus to your tracking skill, right? So if you succeed by 10, plus 10 bonus to your tracking skill. Succeed by 18, etc., etc., etc. Sound fair?
Okay. I would think thermal vision would help with hunting, if predators taught me anything.
Yes, it would. It would. Also moving quietly so you don't scare off
I
the
do have
folks.
prowl, yeah.
Okay, all right. So this will be a wonderful milieu of things. So we're gonna give your thermal vision a. Okay, you know what? Let's keep track of the modifiers. I have my calculator open. So right now, your thermal vision is going to be extremely useful. It's going to give you a plus 20 bonus to hunting now. All right. So now let's do your prowl check. We'll see how quietly you're going to be moving through all this. Once again, no penalties, no bonuses. You can just do a straight prowl. Okay, you failed. So you have no bonus.
Into the forest.
and unfortunately, because your failure was so significant, I'm going to have to give you a penalty of 10. So right now, your thermal vision is only going to be effective. Right now, your bonus right now is just 10. Okay, well, let's do your falconry. Check. Okay, better. Much better. By 26. So actually, now I would like you to do your tracking, and I would like you to make it easier by 36. Wow. Okay. A success by 70. That's good. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So that's 11. I'll describe what you have right now, but let's have the other two hunters kind of roll their skills as well. So let's do Al next. What do you want to do? What do you want? What skills do you want to use to try to hunt down some game?
Well, I don't have any tracking or anything of the nature, but I have prowl so that I can keep up quietly, and I have sniper, which is all kinds of.
That'd be good for the shooting it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I won't get to the shooting it part because the tracking is just getting to the animal. Well, and that's when I'm going to put you guys back into the scene.
My question was actually going to be this: is that the sniper skill? Is it not the same as, like, say, for example, a military sniper in the real world has a lot of skills that come to the head? I'm assuming sniper is just dealing with the shooting.
Sniper is just dealing with the shooting.
Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah,
unless the description of the skill says something differently, but I don't think it does.
No, I don't think so. So basically just prowling to keep up and quiet.
So are you going to stick close to Lavin, or are you going to stick close to Tom? Close to Lavin. Okay.
Lavin. Well, I mean, I assume unless they're splitting up, are you guys splitting up?
Yes.
I'm following my bird.
I'll stick close to Lavin then. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then I'd like you to roll it, and this will actually affect Lavin's success chance.
Okay.
It'll affect that 70.
Got it.
Either positively or negatively.
I succeed by 35.
Okay. So you don't make it any worse. Unfortunately, Lavin is so... Okay, I'll describe it once we're actually, like... during the hunt thing, but I have a really good idea why Lavin is so freaking loud. I like to think he's... Oh, actually, I'll talk to you about right now, Spiral. Do you think maybe he's like, this is the first time you've recently captured the Falcon? Maybe you're a little worried that this thing's going to fly off, so you're focusing on keeping up with it and less about where your feet are stepping?
Yeah, it would be totally distracting.
Does that sound logical?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Tom, what skills do you want to use to hunt down some game?
Well, I have prowl, and I also have track animals.
Great. So go ahead and do prowl first, and I think that will modify your track animals. The same rule for Lavin. How much you succeed or fail by will affect your bonus.
Okay, so I got...
Your
of
prowl is
92.
98?
Oh, it's supposed to be 92. Sorry.
Oh. So
So out of
46 and then
92.
92.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's good. That's a good one. All right, go ahead, roll tracking. Make it easier by 20.
Okay. So then this skill roll will be 95. 20 out of 95.
Okay. All right. Okay. Excellent. So pretty much it's two hunting groups spreading off. You're kind of in the same general hunting area. You're not going to be miles and miles and miles apart, but you kind of break off. Tom, after about 15 minutes of hunting through the woods and whatnot, you come across what appears to be a very large black boar. It appears to be a male, since its tusks are large protuberances out from either ends of its swine-like head. It appears to be rooting around at the base of a tree. It is easily, this is a large boar. It's easily 100 pounds, if not a bit more. And it looks like it is maybe 3 or 4 years old. Looks like it's in good condition. So you've tracked yourself a nice boar there. Okay.
Sweet.
I'll wait for you to decide to shoot at it until I describe Lavin and Al.
Yeah.
Lavin, your falcon takes off into the air, and it leaves at such a stark, quick speed and seeks out almost into a straight line. You're concerned that this falcon is going to fly off, but you don't want to whistle for it to come back or have it come back, because that will give away your position. So you hastily make your way through the woods, following through the canopy of the trees your falcon. Al, you are able to nimbly keep up, and you can notice by Lavin's footwork that he is stepping over branches. He's making a lot more ruckus than he really should be. Thankfully, however, Lavin, you can see your falcon begin to circle over an area. It circles predatory-like about 5 circles before it starts fluttering its way back towards you. This is helped by you taking out maybe a little bit more bacon to lure it back towards you or something like that. Regardless, your thermal vision does see far, far in advance a large heat signature of a 4-legged animal. As you and Al prowl up closer, get within visage, you see a cluster of 3 deer. What appears to be a large male stag with significant antlers, and appears to be 2 does. One probably juvenile, only about a couple years old, while the other one seems to be a little bit more mature, a 4 or 5 year old doe. Now, with your target set in sight, we'll go to Burn first. What would you like to do, Burn? This boar ruddling around in the dirt with its snout has not noticed your presence.
I would like to take out my flechette rifle and load it with a tranquilizer.
Okie-doke. You do so carefully and quietly with a small click of the new ammunition going into your weapon. Now what?
I would like to shoot.
Okay, excellent. Well, are you aiming for any particular area?
I'm going to try and aim for its shoulder or area.
Okay, excellent. So go ahead, roll me to strike with your weapon. To hit the shoulder, you'll need a 12 or higher. Now, because of your excellent tracking and overall skill, I am going to say that you are within 50 feet of this thing. So you only need a 5 or higher to hit its main body, 12 or higher to hit that particular area.
Okay. 14.
Excellent. With a small sound coming out of your rifle as the tranquilizer comes out of the flechette, the boar jumps with a small start, but not before that tranquilizer round sinks deep into its shoulders. The boar gives a surprising squeal, looks around a few times, and begins to take off opposite of you, of the direction, for about 20 feet before it begins to slow down, get groggy, and pass out.
Excellent.
Yes. Now with Lavin and Al. Unfortunately, you are about 70 feet away from these animals, and you don't want to get much closer because you don't want to scare them away. But Al, Lavin, what would you like to do? A buck and 2 doe.
Do you want it alive? Do you
No.
want it alive?
No, that would be horrible. Best to kill them quickly.
Okay. So I'm just using my old 30-06 hunting rifle now.
Okay.
Because cheaper bullets. I will aim at the buck, but
Okay.
try to get the falcon to go for one of the does.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you want the falcon to go for the younger doe or the elder doe?
The elder.
Okay. All right. And Al, what are you going to do?
I am going to use the 7.62 chamber loaded round for my juicer rifle, which I have furiously been looking up the damage for that bullet. But yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the one shot with that.
Okay, well, to buy you some time with looking up the damage for that
Mhm.
bullet, I'm going to go to Lavin first.
Okay.
All right, Lavin, how about we'll do your first shot for you, and then we'll do your attack for your falcon. Work for you?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to try not to damage the head of this thing.
You're going to try not to damage the head. Okay,
you said it
so
had
what
big
do you want to
antlers,
aim
right?
for? Oh, yeah, it's a big buck. Unfortunately, I personally am not a big hunter, so I don't know what a 5-point or 10-point buck is.
Neither do I. But
I'm
assuming you're not supposed to shoot it in the fucking head, right? I mean, that's no good.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a trophy, definitely.
Yeah.
I intuitively, I think going for its heart or going for its neck probably is what most hunters do. If there's anyone who is a real hunter and want to correct me, feel free.
Yes, you want to go for the heart or the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that
You
I've
want to
hunted
make a
before,
quick-
but yes.
You want to kill it as quickly as possible to make sure that there is no suffering. Otherwise, you will have to shoot it 4 or 5 more times.
Okay, so what do you want to aim for, 11?
The like rib cage, heart area,
Oh,
chest.
the heart area. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll have you go ahead and roll to hit. Now, what it's going to be is, once again, 12 or higher. Since you want to get right in the heart, I want you to make it harder by 2. And if you get that, then you'll probably hit it like right by its heart. If you miss, you'll go askew a little bit of the way, but you'll still hit the main body. So go ahead and roll to hit. You got a 12 perfectly. That's excellent. Good job. So your rifle cracks out as the bullet lodges squarely in between the ribs of that buck. And as it gives a jolt and falls over, you can see it die within 3 seconds. It doesn't suffer. It is a quick, clean kill. Your falcon launches off of your arm or your shoulder, wherever it might be, and begins to make its attack upon the doe. Where do you want your falcon? Does your falcon have a name yet?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Rex.
We'll just call
It's a man. It's named Rex. There you go.
Yeah? Are you cool? No, because if you want to take more time, I don't
No,
care.
that's fine.
All
I
right,
actually did think about it before. I'd forgotten I'd thought about it. That's like 2 hours before the session started. I told my wife, I was like, "Oh, I was supposed to think of a bird name." Okay. Anyway.
All right, so Rex launches off of you. Where do you want Rex to attack?
I think the head would be probably the easiest place for a falcon to actually
Okay.
do something worthwhile.
All right, and since Rex is your falcon, would you like to roll for him?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So just roll my falcon be skill, or what? How am I going to roll this? Like,
Well, it's an attack. It's a basic attack.
I'll tell you what. I'll roll a 1d20, and you can
Yeah.
decide the modifiers on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it hits. Sorry, where was it going for?
The head.
The head. Okay. All right. The falcon swoops down and attacks the head and the neck of the doe. Doing Oh, not much. You hit well, but sorry. But the reason why I didn't have you roll damage, Lavin, is because like doing 5 SDC or 5 hit points to the heart like kills it, and I know minimum you do 5 SDC, so I didn't have you bother rolling damage.
That's fine.
The falcon, however, although it strikes its head and neck, its talons are unable to really seize a lot of the flesh. It only cuts a rivet along the neck of the doe as it begins to take off. Al, go ahead and shoot at your target. Let me know what you're going for.
Sure. Same thing. I'm going to be going for the heart.
Okay, great.
So I actually wrote this down on my Roll20 character sheet, so it wasn't that hard to find at all. So it has all the same bonuses that the juicer rifle would have normally, but it does 5d6 SDC for a normal bullet.
Okay.
So
Once again, make it harder by 2. Minus
Got it.
2 for the called shot to El Harto.
So that's a 7. All right. That's a 12 exactly.
Just like Lavin, you hit a 12 exactly. Very good shot. You strike the other doe straight in the chest, past the ribs, into its heart, causing it a very, very quick death. The other doe begins to take off into the woods, with Rex the falcon continuing to attack its head and face. I'm going to give it another attack here. Actually, you go ahead and roll it, Lavin. It's your falcon. Okay. Hey, Rex, can you roll a little bit more damage, bud? Okay. All right. It has clearly hit some sort of major artery of the doe because now it's beginning to bleed. It has run off into the thicket, but due to its blood trail and the fact the falcon is continuing to pursue it, it is very easy to track for both Lavin and Al. Would you guys like to chase this deer down and attack it, or cease your attack?
Well, it's already getting bleed out, so should probably go finish it. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's the kinder thing to do, yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So you both take off after it. We're going to say after just a few minutes, getting past kind of the thicket and following the screeching sounds of Rex, you are able to take a quick snapshot of the deer as it kind of whizzes past your vision, trying to vault desperately into the vegetation. So both of you can take your shots. Because of the speed it's moving and partial obstructions, your to strike bonuses are going to be at a -1. Other than that, go ahead and roll the strike. Whoever wants to go first.
Well, you said snapshot. Is that still an aim shot, or is this a wild shot?
No, sorry. You know what? You're right. It makes it sound like it's a wild shot. My mistake. Snapshot just means a really quick shot, aka you can take one more shot at this thing before it gets out of sight again.
Gotcha.
So, but it can be an aim shot. Yes.
Sorry, you said harder by how much? 2?
1. If you want to go for the heart, yeah, okay. So you go for the main body. Sorry, I guess I should have given you a
No, that's fine.
chance
Just
to
I think at this point he just wants to end it, right?
Okay, now definitely roll damage then, please.
Good.
Ooh, 18. That is really good. You strike it in the main body and around by its flank, creating a large hole and seriously injuring this creature. It falls down onto the ground and bleats out sadly. It's still alive, but it's extremely hurt. Perhaps Al can give it a final mercy.
Let's hope so. Yeah, that hits.
You roll a natural 20 or
no 19?
Oh, you got
Natural
19
19.
now. That's still very good. Roll damage, please.
All right. 18.
Okay.
Hey!
Yep. Well, that's more enough then. You strike it once more in the body, and thankfully the creature soon expires. So yeah, you have successfully the falcon, with a little bit of deer flesh in its beak, returns to you, Lavin, Rex, as you now have 3 deer to haul back to the camp. And Burn, I'm assuming you will be attempting to take the boar back to the camp.
Yeah. So here's the
Okay.
thing. The tranks only work for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So Tom will probably be like mid on his way back to the camp, and then the boar will wake up and start struggling, and he's going to freak the shit out. So he's probably going to try and shoot it again, probably when it's running away, probably with a penalty. Does that sound good?
Yeah. I mean, you set up, if you think your character wouldn't realize how long the trank will last for, and it would and it would stir with surprise and try to escape, and then you take a shot at it. Let's go with that narrative. That works for me.
Because this is the first time I've used tranquilizers. This is like the second time I've ever used this flechette rifle.
Okay, all right. So I want you to go ahead and do a strike. I want you to make it harder by 3 then.
20.
Do you want to hit a specific area? You have to declare that before you roll your dice.
No, just main body. Just try and shoot it. 11.
Okay, you hit its main body. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. It isn't actually damage. It has to try and resist the poison. So
you're hitting it with another trank.
Yeah. Well, I would have to reload. So.
Okay.
So
no problem. You hit it with another trank, and once again, it gets woozy and thumps down onto the ground.
All right. This is where
you now know it's been about 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. I will switch to my steel shards and finish it off.
Oh, okay. It's a coup de grace. You don't have to roll to hit. I mean, it's knocked out, right? The flechette rounds make a horrible, gashing, huge wound into the beast. And if you try to skin it for its pelt, that's not going to be so good. But for basic meat, or to use as a practice substitution for Al, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But yeah, those flechette rounds just break apart and just create a massive, massive entry and exit wound. So as you guys haul back to the camp with your deer, I'm going to switch back to our lovely patient, Ellie and Patrick. Hi, guys. Still there?
Hi.
Hoi. I have just to kind of well, first of all, before me imparting NPCs on you guys, is there anything you guys would particularly really love to do?
I know for Ellie, like, she'd probably be in Patrick's science-y lab thingy in her own makeshift corner desk that she jerry-rigged with like a box or something, and she's like looking at, I don't know, maybe like reading a book up on shiny rocks of some kind.
Well, you also still have some of those crystals that you took from that frozen meteor as well. Some of them really warm orange ones, and a couple of the broken ones that don't glow anymore. So, but yeah, no, if you're reading up on that, that works. Yeah. How about you, Patrick?
I'd probably be in the same room.
Perfect.
But probably keeping an eye on our alien friend for more than one reason. So he doesn't scurry off and cut more holes into things, as well as he is actually genuinely curious on what he's doing.
Okay, all right. Well, currently, Aid Wild Spec, I almost called him Fire Spec. Bad Inferno. Aid Wild Spec is currently taking a break from his conversion of your power source, and is currently humming and examining the golden armor that you gave him. He has dismantled much of the greaves and some of the torsos, taking off small flecks of the golden armor itself to analyze and break down. You can see that his robotic arms have a variety of attachments onto them for both defense and analysis. And the most startling of all of them is kind of an extension to the small blowtorch he uses it to cut into things, and which creates this brilliant green flame that pretty much breaks down matter to its, for lack of a better word, core components. Those golden flecks of armor become small ashes, which he then puts into a small tube, jiggle around, puts in some additive, and begins to examine them through a microscopic lens that descends down in front of his eye, almost like a monocle. Which makes the pupil of his tiny green eye become extremely large from your point of view. As he's doing this, he's humming through this, and he says, "Human, what did you say your name was again?"
Oh, Patrick.
Patrick. Yes. Patrick, and the female, the woman, you here.
Hi, I'm Ellie.
Ellie, yes. I have seen much already, and I do have to admit I am satisfied with our trade so far. If you have the time and interest to take a break from your current tasks, I feel now comfortable enough to share some details about my home realm, and other such details that we agreed upon.
Ooh, sure. What about you, Patrick?
Yes, absolutely.
Very well. Now, as a GM, I won't go into verbal detail of everything he tells you, because he'll talk your ear off for 3 hours, and that will be literally the rest of our session. However, I will, in character, tell you all sorts of these nice broad details, and kind of out of character, let you know some of the tiny details of stuff. Work for you?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So, aid file spec.
It's got a weird name.
Aid Wild Spec says, I have told you my name, and now I will tell you the name that my race calls our home. We call it the Syrzag Thicket. I can spell it for you. Syrzag, and then Thicket. He says, much like your atmosphere, it is rich in both oxygen and hydrogen. However, unlike your atmosphere, our protective zone of our planet that protects us of radiation has been not nearly as well developed by the atmosphere. Many of my I'm starting to sound like Tyrath. Oh my goodness!
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm trying to sound nasally, and I'm going all Tyrath. Okay. Anyway, he says, however, our planet has adapted to this. The reason why it's called the thicket is because there are the local vegetation has taken very thick roots and branches, and a natural canopy has spread across the entire planet, protecting us and my people and all other living things from this radiation with its enchanted bark. Underneath the thicket, where only small bits of light come through, is our civilization. We are extremely advanced, much more advanced than your lot, and much more in tune with the magical energies. We have something akin to ley lines, however, we call them mystic streams. Much like water flows down the river, magic energy flows through our planet in streams that are approximately 1 to 3 feet tall. It is these streams that we harvest into and become the main circulatory system of our technological advances. We learned at a very early time in our history in which to mine for synthetic materials, and create fossil fuels in which to perpetuate our further technological advancement. As far as a faith goes, we do not, I suppose you could say we are of a agnostic personality. The fact is that we are more interested in the advancement of material goods and material objects and less concerned about the divine. We are willing to accept that there might be some great divine forces in the universe, but since they never stop by the Srizeg thicket, we typically have no interest in them. Approximately 70 years ago was when we first were able to have our mystic streams create new portals into different realms, and we became very eager explorers, in which I am one of them. We have, for lack of a better word, a caste system. However, this is not determined by birth. This is determined by ability. Once a Fae, once one of our people reaches the 120th year of their life, there is, for lack of a better word, a very long and grueling test of one's mental abilities and technical aptitude. I scored the third highest in my class of 7,000. And I was permitted, yes, I know it was very, very...
That's impressive.
Very impressive. Yes, it says the small green creature happily. He says, which is why I was permitted to enter into what was seen as one of the gateway planets in which your planet resides. There are a multitude of planets across the galaxy, all with different levels of not only technology and civilization, but of magical source, of magical energy. Some are highly enriched, some are very, very low in this resource. Yours is unique. It used to be very high, then it was very, very low, and now in the past few hundred years has become astonishingly high and has become a hub world in which many others can travel. Frankly, it's also one of the more dangerous ones too, which is why I gladly took up the challenge and why I am here. He will continue to talk your ear off about his own civilization, but I'd like to have some interaction here between you and Aid Wildspec. Are there any particular questions you might have for him? Something in particular you might want to know, so I'm not just talking off the cuff?
I know that I would at least note one thing.
Sure.
During the long speech, Patrick would just turn back to see how Mila is taking all this.
She, during all of this, is just sort of watching. You'll see her, like, glance in your direction every now and then, and if you're looking at her, she'll give you a small wave.
Patrick give a small hearty wave back before quickly paying back attention.
Okay. So, do you have any questions for Aid Wildspec?
So, how old are you?
He says, I am 182 years old.
And how... Are you old still, or young, or...
I am still relatively young. Us Fae people live until at least 500 years, although there are many who have lived up to 800 years, with some technological advancements. We prefer to use machinery rather than biologically alter our genes, simply because we are wise enough to realize that there might be long-term consequences for such genetic manipulation. Therefore, we stick to robotics, something that our bodies can manipulate rather than something our bodies become.
So, clearly you're a little boy. Now, sorry about that. Your whole bath time thing. That was kind of rude of me. Anyway, is there any other kind of gender thing going on? Like,
much similar to your own, we are mostly a di-gendered or di-sexed individual. There are the males and there are females, although we do not focus nearly as much energy on reproducing as you humans tend to.
yeah, I don't get that either. So do you
Yes.
reproduce like with the robotics to keep your genetics all in line?
No, we do not. We still do some things the old-fashioned way.
Are you coming up with new and less primitive ways of doing it? she seems really interested.
He blinks for a little bit and he says, well, I like the old-fashioned way.
Ellie
A
shrugs.
fair answer.
What is going on? You know, this is the second time you've come across a fucking DB race, and most of your questions is, how do you bone?
It's an important question. It is the foundation of how they continue their culture.
Ellie is fascinated with
That's
the
fine.
idea, the differences between male and female. And so when
That's fine.
he's like genetic stuff, she's like, oh, so maybe they just kind of merge the two.
Yeah, no, you know what? That's
Like
okay.
Velcro.
All right, I stand
Yeah.
corrected. Give me a moment. Now that the ice cream van is long gone, I want to open up my window because it's still freaking hot over here. Just one moment.
Especially after all the sex
mean-
talk.
I mean, Patrick has a point. So much of culture is based around it.
It is an important just
Okay.
is how
Mhm.
everything is done. Like in
Sure.
most animals and whatnot, and even like people's.
I mean,
Yeah,
it could
I'm
be a
sorry.
robot. I was expecting a
didn't-
robot egg.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you. Okay, no, I don't want. Any question is good. We're good. Like it just catches me off guard. It just catches me off guard, but I'm good to roll with it. Okay. Yeah, he says he likes doing it the old-fashioned way.
Ellie will look over at Patrick.
Oh, gosh, there's so many. I guess the basis is I'm curious about your trade. Do you usually trade more information, or do you have a set currency?
Currency, he says. That is a concept that was briefly used approximately 400 years ago in our Fey civilization. However, trying to quantify material goods for intellectual prize was proving to be very difficult. It was far too subjective. It was different between Fey and Fey. So we simply went away with it. We live in a collective society in which the only thing of great import is itself new research, new ideas, new understanding, intellect, information, as you have learned from interacting with me, I imagine. We no longer have a monetary system, no. It is those who have the largest minds, those who have the most creative souls, and those of us who find the most fascinating sights that get advanced in this society and achieve status. The worst thing a Fae could do is stagnate, be content with what he or she might know. Anything else?
Well, I can tell you that Patrick is absolutely teeming with questions about our world now because he knew nothing about the comparisons between us and the rest of the world, the rest of the other universes.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well then, I'll slip a little out of character for this. Yes, Aid Wildspec does know quite a bit of research about your world, and I'll kind of give you the Cole's notes. In ancient times, Atlantis was a continent. This is around the Bronze Age, where magic was high, and the magic was high, and tales were true. Ancient tales of harpies and sphinxes and minotaur and all the rest were absolutely true. Although they might not have spawned on Earth, they were probably DB travelers from another time. And Atlantis itself was populated by a race of human beings who were extremely advanced for the time and extremely well known for their understanding of magic. They themselves traveled the dimensions as well. Unfortunately, a smaller great cataclysm started, and Aid doesn't know the reason for it, but he has a feeling that these folks from Atlantis, these humans from Atlantis, those known as Atlanteans, messed up, and they messed up in a really big way. They created something they shouldn't have, or they opened something that they shouldn't have, or they messed with forces of nature that they should not have had, and it plunged their own entire continent into the ocean. And with them gone, the magic energy had no one to cultivate it. And it waxed and waned into your Roman era, into your medieval era, into your industrial area, and into your golden area of technology, lying slow and dormant, while the human species advanced as best they could on a technological level. And of course, he also knows that, once again, it is not properly documented, but a second cataclysm, what you call the Great Cataclysm, happened. However, unlike the Atlanteans, it wasn't due to dealing with forces that you could not control. It was a flaw, in Aid's opinion, of your own base human nature, the conflicting nature of it, the idea of creating in-groups and out-groups and starting war. A great war happened in which great weapons were deployed, great swaths of human lives were killed, and with those innumerable massive deaths, somehow created the next new, it brought magic back. He doesn't know particularly why. No one knows particularly why, but humans were their own undoing through their own warlike nature. That's his opinion on it, as it is. And once the magic came back to the planet, it came back with a great force, an immense force, a force that brought Atlantis back up from the ocean, a force that permanently changed the landscape of every single continent on this planet. He assures you that the planet that you reside on now was very, very different than it was a few hundred years back. Yeah.
Ellie's like making like spooky noises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aid looks over towards Patrick and he says, I am unfamiliar with the noises that she is making. Is she laughing? My translator says that she is not laughing, but she's making mouth noises similar to that.
I'm building suspense. Because it's suspense. Yeah, it's like, I'll teach you sometime. We'll go over the basics.
Very well. He doesn't look impressed. Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. Very much like the angel people. Patrick will have plenty of them, but I'd rather not take up the entire session for this.
Sure, and I appreciate that. Sure, so we'll wind this particular scene down right now, and we'll switch to a more narrative sense with the guys coming back with the deer and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. So the hunters have returned. The researchers have done their research. And you now have some animals in which to practice some surgery techniques on Al. I plan on moving the scene forward with either Zoe or her messenger returning to your campsite. Are we good with that?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, did you take Zoe's suggestion and hide the Rhapsody in the lake while it's not being used, or do you have it parked out onto the land?
No, we should hide it in the lake and just set up a small camp.
Or fly it up. But yeah, lake's probably best.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So with that, sure enough, you do hear the rumbling of a vehicle coming down from the south, and as it clears the vegetation thicket and enters your campsite, you do see there's only a single person in there, and that single person is unfamiliar to you. What is familiar is the body armor that she wears. It is almost identical to the body armor. Actually, it is identical to the body armor that is worn by Perrin's post-militia forces. A dark green with splotches of white along the chest, denoting, there we go, words, denoting her station and the symbols of the Perrin's post. She has her helmet on completely, and she does have what appears to be a laser rifle on her back, although she hasn't reached for it. And she kind of looks around, and she says, I think the coincidence of you being where I was told to go is pretty high, but just to make sure I can check off all the boxes, your names?
Lavin.
Okay.
Ellie. Or Al. Fine, Al can go before me, but Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Alcibiades.
Okay. All right. Well, that should be enough. The coincidence would be too high if you're all of them. And she takes from a small side satchel on her armor what appears to be a small data stick. Similar to a cred stick, but this is a little bit larger. It has a USB port to plug in to any sort of device. She says, your message is right here. I was told just to give this to you and head back as soon as possible. So take care, she says, as she gets back into her Jeep, starts off the ignition, and heads back to the south.
Neat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we got to go somewhere where we can view the message.
Mm-hmm. Well, it can be plugged into pretty much any personal recorder. In addition, for those of you who have cyber jacks in their bodies, you could probably port into that as well and listen or view to whatever's in there. Or you can go on board the Rhapsody and play it through one of its numerous devices.
Just in case this is a different person and they were followed, let's not pull up the Rhapsody.
Okay.
Patrick, would you be okay with accessing the information?
Patrick?
If you are, say nothing.
If you are okay, say nothing and still be muted.
God damn it. So, yes, I have like 2 personal computers and a head jack. I think I can play it.
Okay.
In the head jack, only you'd be able to listen to it. So if you want to
do it on the computer,
okay,
easily.
good stuff. You plug the data stick into the computer, and sure enough, a long audio message is attached. Playing it, you soon hear the voices of both Daniel Perrin and Zoe Wedgwood. First to speak is Daniel Perrin, and he says, "First of all, I'm glad to hear that you're still alive and you brought Zoe back safe and sound. She's informed me of your current situation, your plans, and what you need from me, and I'm more than willing to assist. Before I do so, I figured I'd give you a bit of an update on this situation here. Still have a few unfriendly eyes looking towards us, but things have settled down a little bit as far as the attention of the coalition states go. Apparently, they're a little distracted with something that is going out east. I'm sure, actually, I know you are very aware, Zoe has told me, of this great danger prophecy that's happening. And I am looking for a few mercenary volunteers to check things out myself. But that's neither here nor there. However, Zoe and I both decided to be very careful and decided to send a messenger in case any eyes of any spies were on us. It would distract them enough to send one of my trusted people up to see you. I trust that this message has gotten to you safe and sound. To the first order of business. I understand that you want to take part in assisting in, for lack of a better word, the grand enterprise of saving the world. And because I'm not a complete heartless bastard, I see absolutely no reason why our business arrangement should hinder that whatsoever. In addition, if the world was completely consumed in darkness, as all the doomsayers say, then I won't be able to trade with anyone. So, with all due respect in regards to that, Zoe and I have talked about this, and we decided that you go off and you have your incredible adventure, find out everything that you do know, and when you come back and you tell everyone who will listen it to you and we stop this threat, then we can resume our business. Also, personally, I'm hoping you will have acquired some very unique devices in which we can unleash upon the market and make all of us extremely, extremely rich. At this point, Zoe pipes up and she says, although I sometimes have the eager spirit of Marlis Stotch, and I have trusted upon you as dear friends in our encounters, I've decided to stay here on Earth. Daniel's going to need as much help as he can get. And in the background, you can hear Finger Perrin like scoffing. But she'll say, more importantly, Daniel here has underplayed what he plans on doing. We're going to try to hire as many mercenaries as possible and create as many supply lines as possible to the forces that are heading out east. We're going to need someone who needs to organize all that. And frankly, I'm the best one here since Dan doesn't want to leave his precious little town. Once again, more scoffing in the background. She says, so I will stay here and do what I can in my part in regards to this. But I wish all of you, including my dear friends Marlis and McLaughlin, the best of luck and come home safe. That's the important thing. And of course, come back with as much information you can gather. We're starting to get a very real vibe. A lot of people are starting to get the very real vibe that these aren't just doomsday prophecies. And from everything that I've seen from those spirits to the data recordings of the prophecies that you've come across, to Mila or Ellie or Nora or whatever she's calling herself now, to her own experiences, this is true. So it's time we take it as seriously as you are. Daniel then continues. In regards to Giovanni, as you probably last saw him when he was with the Endless Storytellers. And I'm going to hold this information to you in the strict of confidence, but I believe I can trust you in regards to this. After that coalition independent agent showed up, he got extremely skittish. Apparently, in his younger years, he was more than a little bit rebellious and was an active combatant against the coalition states. He thought for the safety of everyone in the Endless Storytellers, he should leave and disappear. However, he did come to me personally for assistance. We both decided that the best place for him to be is somewhere small, off, and remote. and I attached him to one of my caravans that head towards the small towns that are directly north of here. Small towns like Fletcher, like Combe, like Rivermouth, like Golden Leaf, and Kara's Vale. This was 8 months ago, and I haven't heard back from him since. He hasn't died, or I would have heard that from my fellow merchants. But as far as my contacts go in all the major cities, like New Laszlo, Ishpeming, and Tolkien, all the more northern cities, he hasn't shown up there either. I have a feeling that he has gone... He's either lost himself out into the wilderness or has incorporated himself into one of these smaller towns. My suggestion to you is to follow the merchant route, which I have attached to this data stick, and see if you can't track him down. If he shows his face in Parents' Post, or if my sources say he's anywhere else, I'll do what I can to get the information out to you. But I have a feeling and then the recording pauses for a moment, like a long time, and he says, Giovanni has a lot of demons. And I think he was looking for some peace and quiet to sort all that shit out. And those little towns, my oh my, you don't get much more quieter than that. Very slow, very regular, very calming. With that, once again, I wish you the best of luck. I appreciate your discretion. And please don't blow holes in that spaceship. It's pretty much the best way to get something from point A to point B on this planet so far. And I'll definitely need that in the future. He kind of gives a bit of a laugh. Zoe gives her own best lucks and wishes and regards before the two of them sign off.
Sweet. So Zoe's staying behind. All right.
Yeah, so if I understand correctly, this won't affect our relationship in any negative way, but Zoe's not coming with us.
Yeah.
Which is completely understandable. She's got stuff to do.
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
Actually, I'm all for it.
Now that we know that, we have a choice of starting to look in the other towns, or we can go and try and find Lee in New Laszlo. What do you guys think?
I think Lee should probably be last just because it makes the most sense.
Agreed. And plus we have some things to try and do in New Laszlo anyway, so let's go get Giovanni, maybe, possibly.
Okay.
Please talk to him.
I gotta run to the little girls' room, so I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a quick bathroom break and meet back in a couple minutes.
I thought you were going to say in a couple hours.
No. I will be back as well.
Hello? Hello?
Hello!
Oh, God. Hello? Piph, friend.
It is I, Piph.
My friend. Where are you? It is so dark. In this
I'm
place.
over here. Can't you
What?
see me?
No. I see not a thing.
We had time now.
We're in an empty... I wish I could, make my voice echo, in Discord. So, it was, a whimsical, Piph, Piph, Piph.
Piph, Piph, Piph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo?
Yo,
Leo?
yo,
Yo?
it's me, Piph, yo.
Yo? Yeah?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to eventually make a new icon for a new Avon.
Avon?
I can't speak today.
That's okay.
I can't mouth sounds.
Mouth sounds. How's chat going?
Yeah, how you doing, chat?
Hi, mysterious voices in the sky. We can go twice as high. Take a look. Oh yeah, maybe we'll figure out what is with Moira and Weird Spligor that I think has her soul from sub 1 optimal. From Ants. Information of Spanish fleet starts.
Yep.
Low. Borf.
Now you're just reading out everything. That's amazing.
Inferno, Piph, Criana, I have 2 questions for you. Okay. Gator. Rador Dete.
To save you typing, I have no idea how big a handle for a giant ass sword would be.
Yeah.
I'm not a swordsmith.
That's right.
There you go. I gave you a small quiz to pass the time. Should I give this to the chat? I'm not quite sure.
It was a little Spanish squeak.
Sure, go nuts.
I shall go the nuts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You should be.
Can't help it. It's a condition.
Yeah, it's a condition.
I can see the future.
Hey, without looking up, which title is the fake title?
Oh.
It's one of my
Drop
favorite
all.
games. Only one of these is a fake title. It's hard to believe, I know.
I'm back, by the way.
Are you getting Daddy Dream Simulator, Piph?
Oh, hey, yeah.
It seems like it'd be like right up your alley.
I'm also looking forward to another game that's not a joke game. It's like Card City Nights 2. So it's got some nice art
Oh, I
style.
remember Card City Nights. I remember you loved that card game.
Yeah, freaking 2's coming out just around the corner.
What's
June 2nd.
What is?
Card City Nights 2.
Okay, June 2nd is almost a year from now, right? You mean July? No, today is July 2nd.
Yeah.
You said June 2nd, right?
Yes.
So a year from now.
Yes.
11 months from now.
Right.
Oh, is this what I put? Oh, it's added at that time. Okay, so it's coming around in September 1st.
Oh, that's not bad. That's better than 11 months.
So
Yeah.
these flippin' vacuum cups are bananas. I got myself a cup of
fuck is
soda
Vacuum. Oh.
like this morning, like 10 hours ago, and forgot I had it, and I just went by and it still has ice. It's got it. It's just like I left it 5 minutes ago. It's crazy.
Ew, I hate that.
You mean
There's
What? Why do you hate
Why would
keeping
you
things
hate
cold?
There is something not right about something being in a cup for hours and still having ice and being cold. There's
That-
something
that's-
that's like
that's the
That's
whole point
alien
of
tech.
vacuum?
But science.
Vacuum.
no. I hate that.
insulation.
Like I hate it. I just there's
literal
something about it I
science.
hate.
Heat can't transfer through a vacuum, so
Yeah.
What?
heat can't transfer through a vacuum.
Yeah, but like there's something I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm
It's just
saying
weird.
it's very upsetting to me, and I can't explain it, but I find it very upsetting.
Yeah, well,
Like,
you're
can you
very
imagine
upsetting.
Criana like buying these and burning them at the stake?
So this is what it's like to be on the other side of being Inferno. This sounds like an argument I would make and everyone ganging up on me. So this is what it's like. Interesting.
I can be the lightning rod of hate. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I think it's pretty great, and I'm not too scared about it.
Are we
Criana.
arguing about something that keeps your drinks cold?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we
Criana,
Well,
are.
until you got here.
Criana,
I-
because you're special to me, you can always be my lightning rod of hate.
Anywho.
You can't see the giant middle finger I'm giving you, but it sure is there, Squee. Let me tell you.
Oh, it's potent.
Wouldn't you like to keep your ice cubes nice and ice cube-like so you can do the nice chewing on them?
I do like chewing ice cubes.
I hate that.
Okay.
I hate it. Hate
Well,
it.
here we're at an impasse, aren't we?
Well, I'm gonna get us out of the impasse because we're all here. So let's get back into the session.
Okay.
Okay, so you've decided to assist, try to hunt down Giovanni. Giovanni, also known as the Firebrand, a former mentor of Tom's
Mhm.
during your endless storyteller days, and you're going to follow the trading routes of the folks of the small towns that are just north and northeast of Perrin's Post. So the question is that how do you guys want to do this? Do you want to take land vehicles and travel from town to town, or do you want to take the Rhapsody? You do know from the from your bird's eye view of this area, the areas that you need to go. As you can kind of see here, I'll kind of highlight the areas that you're going to go in red. And as you can see, there is a couple rivers and like a little tiny lake up there. the rest of it is highly and heavily wooded. So if you were to take the Rhapsody, it would be tricky to find places to land nearby these towns without the people in the towns knowing that a giant spaceship is landing. It's not impossible, mind you, but yeah. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to go on land vehicles, or do you want to try flying through on the Rhapsody?
Might be good to do.
I may have missed this, but is our pilot trainee still with us, or is he staying behind?
No, he needed a day to sleep on it, so it hasn't been a day yet.
Got it. Why don't we?
I would.
Why don't
say...
we keep it hidden here if it's not
God
that?
damn it, Squee!
Sorry, I know. We can't keep talking at the same time. You go.
What would you like? Ellie?
No, sorry. Maybe that's just a delay on my end, but it's like I start talking and then after like a second, you're like, "Oh, well, maybe we should do."
Oh dear God, no.
Yeah. That's why. Hence the goddamn.
Squee's just being a dick. No, just kidding.
Yeah, right. No, I'm saying we should do land just because we can drive through the forest, and if he decided to like bellow out somewhere, like maybe we have a higher chance of running into him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okie dokie. What does everyone think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we already got a good hiding place here, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So my only question is just keep in mind, because I don't need a complete itinerary to slow down the session, but just keep realistically in mind what armor you want to use, what weapons you want to use, and what vehicles you want to use to travel. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So just so I can kind of figure out the pace of everything, what do you guys want to take as far as vehicles or you know?
I will take my motorcycle.
Okay.
It might be a bad idea to bring the behemoth because it is a well-known thing in this area, and even though the coalition is looking elsewhere to the east, this is still a hot point for our activities. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion, though. Okay. But I will bring my vehicle, my motorcycle.
Okay. Is your motorcycle electric-powered or gas-powered?
ISP.
Oh, okay. It's brain powered. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so you got a motorcycle. Oh, they managed to, I remember you guys did manage to get gas and some things to repair Melissa. So I think Melissa is good now.
Yeah, I repaired her.
Cool. I'll probably ride with
bringing
Patrick.
the really. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I promise you guys, it sounds like we're talking at the same time. I'm not trying to cut people off.
I think I cut you off that time. I'll own that. Okay.
It's what happens when it's voice conversation. If we can see each other's faces, we know someone's opening up their mouth, but we can't, so it's all good. No offense.
I will take the new awesome hover bike and some regular body armor because I have no gloves. So.
Okay. Earmark the actual body armor that you're taking, so we know MDC and all that good stuff.
Sure. I'm going through our list now because I think it's all in the group loot at the moment.
Yeah, just take a set of Gladiator.
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
Oh my God! Can you? This fucking party. I remember back 3 years ago when you guys didn't just have a bunch of body armor laying around. You're like, just pick a pair. It's in the storage. It's fine.
Yeah, we have like 8 sets of Gladiator body armor.
Yeah, I'll take one of the ones with the multi-optic helm. So, there we go.
Oh yeah, you guys got that too. That's good. Okay, Patrick.
I'll take a gladiator. We're going into town.
Not Parents Post, but you're going to small villages, yes.
Okay. Then yeah, he'll keep his shotgun close, as well as his hunting rifle.
Okay. Lavin?
Jetpack.
Okay.
And the plasma rifle.
Perfect. Okay, I think I hit everybody then, right? Oh, what NPCs do you want to come with?
I don't think you asked Ellie what she was driving.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah, my driving, the Patrick vehicle.
Yeah, I'm driving with Patrick, and I'll take my holy hammer, and I guess I'll wear my damaged gladiator armor.
Okay. Great. Perfect. So according to the map that's on that data stick, the first town that's nearby is a place called Combe, Coombe. It looks like it's, well, on your vehicles, it's only going to be about half a day's travel. It lies in, actually, I'll just update it here on your map. Give just 2 seconds here. As I put a little blue dot right there. And the name in text. There we go. Oh, God damn it. My dot went away.
No.
I think it's because my map layer. Okay. Sorry, guys. Oh, my God. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was filling around with the map, and then my internet disconnected for me. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
There's the blue square. All right, now that's showing up. I just wanted to type the word Combe in there. There. All right. So there's your first destination in Combe. So I'm going to just, you guys can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll speed things along. With Lavin up in his jetpack and the rest of you taking land vehicles, with the exception of one being a hover cycle, so we can either kind of go on ground or up into the sky. Maybe you alternate there, Al. Who knows? But you begin to wind the very, very small, simple dirt path that is the road between Parents Post and the small village of Combe. Perrin doesn't give much background information of population or industry or anything of this small town, just a simple mark of it being the first trade spot, the first stop the kind of trade caravans go. It is a relatively sunny day. The sky is mostly overcast with the sun shining from time to time. It is comfortably warm, and the shade of all the trees that coat this entire area kind of protect you from most of the heat. It is it is exactly 6:15 when you first reach the edge of the town of Combe. And almost immediately you can tell something is up. Lavin, you, and at this point we'll say Al, maybe his hover cycle is a little bit higher in the sky while it's traveling. You notice that there's no sign of movement over top the town. You have a bird's eye view of it as you pass by it or are at least approaching it. Combe is made up. The central area appeared to be these round thatched roofed buildings, kind of in a dual circle, like an inner layer and an outer layer of kind of a town hall center area with a small well, as well as some butchery posts used to clean livestock or hunted game. There is not a single soul in sight. It is dead quiet, so quiet, in fact, that you cannot hear birds chirping or any other animal rustling as you approach Combe itself. There is no smoke or no fire, but you also see absolutely no vehicles, and with the exception of the 16 or so thatched homes around, there is nothing else of significance, with the exception of one tiny thing. Ellie,
Hmm.
your hawk-like hearing can hear something far in the distance. It's down into the town as well. It's down into the town. It's about 300, maybe 400 feet away. It's in one of the homes that are on the outer ring towards the north. And it sounds like grunting singing. Something like, and the marrow goes slurp, slurp, slurp down. As some strange garbling creature is singing to itself. And you also hear the sounds of like a crack and these slurping noises as well.
So am I still in the vehicle with Patrick?
Yeah, you are. I'm assuming you would slow down your vehicles as you approach Combe, and you kind of see this area. Lavin and Al are in the sky. You're all kind of spread out as you approach Combe. But yes, you'd still be in the vehicle. You hear this sound over top the engine of the ATV.
Ellie will kind of frown and be like, geez, he is really out of tune. And if Patrick doesn't say anything, I guess that's it.
I guess so. Unless he's muted again.
He's muted again.
God damn it.
No, it's your own fault.
It is. Thank you. So, so Patrick goes, what kind of singing? Is it similar to the stone singing, or is it a different kind?
No, it's like, that was like nice singing. This is like, it's just not, it's not good. It's coming from way over there. Seems kind of quiet here otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what do you guys want to do?
Ellie will poke her head out the ATV. Hello? Tom? Are you around here? Hi! Do you hear that singing?
What singing?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Let's go check it out. It's over that way. Ellie will point in the direction.
Okay.
Lavin follows Ellie's finger.
Okay, so I'm assuming you land and follow Ellie on foot?
Yeah.
Okay. And Al, you do the same thing?
Is it? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, sure.
Okay. You find a place to land your hovercraft, disembark, and you follow Ellie as she leads you towards the sound of the singing that she can hear. So, oh my god. The second I open up my freaking window, there's no freaking kids screaming in the...
They want ice cream!
No! Ice cream's gone. Alright, anyway. Sorry to break it out. So, you pass...
I shoot the kids. What do I have to roll?
God damn it!
You automatically hit them. Roll damage. No, that's awful. Okay, anyway. You begin to, as you disembark your vehicles and follow Ellie into the town itself, you break the natural barrier that separates the town from the wilderness as well. The tree line stops, and you begin to walk towards tall grasses, past this simple, single dirt path heading towards the center of the town. And as you do so, you begin to pass by the first few thatched huts. These circular huts with a few windows on each side and open doorways with no closed doors whatsoever. Now, all of you have body armor on, right? With helmets and everything like that?
I don't think... Does mine have a helmet? Because I thought that got... Was it the helmet that got broken by the guy, or was it?
No, it was your armpit or something.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And Patrick fixed it up, so there's no actual breach in it. So it just has a little damage to it now. Okay. So as you pass by, I would like each of you to roll me a d20, please.
Nice, Tom. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Patrick, as you pass by a hut towards your east, you notice some movement off to the side, and it's nothing too alarming. It's just a couple houseflies, right? But wait, no, it's a couple more houseflies. No, there's a ton of houseflies. They're buzzing. They're by the window. They're by the door. There's like, well, there's like 20 or 30, like 40 of them kind of buzzing around near the entrance of this hut, kind of flying out to and fro.
All right. Patrick is going to load in. You know what? He's going to load in one normal and one was it hot shot or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Hot lead, probably.
Hot lead, yeah.
And he's going to go and investigate as quietly as Patrick can with his stupid non-prow legs.
Okay. Oh, roll me D100 since you're trying to be quiet. Okay, all right. The rest of you, as you follow Ellie, you see Patrick kind of take out his weapon, load in some ammunition, and peel off from the group and slowly and carefully head towards one of the thatched huts towards your right. What would you guys like to do?
Thermal check.
Ellie will follow Patrick.
You engage your cybernetic eye, Lavin, and as you point it towards the direction where Patrick is heading and through the thatched hut, you only see the small sparks of the body heat of some flies. Oh, wait, did I say some flies? I mean hundreds of flies buzzing around all on the inside of the thatched hut itself. You can kind of see through the straw and the wood of the building, but you don't see the heat signatures of any large entity.
Okay, through the hand radio, it'd be like, building looks empty, but I think there's probably something dead in there.
But Ellie and Patrick are continuing on towards the thatched hut. Tom, Al, anything in particular you would like to do?
Yeah, Al would go to where Lavin's talking just to ensure that whatever's in there is technically dead.
Yeah, I'll approach too.
Okay. So, actually, this is where I'll take you guys over towards the whiteboard, just so we have a visual representation of what we got going on here to kind of help you out, because I know it's appreciated by some of you fine folks.
Shifty eyes from Criana.
That's fine. This is not going to be anything special. I'm just going to... There's the thatched hut itself. I'm going to just quickly draw in green where... This is where the doorway is. Okay, it's like not angled. Give me a moment. I think I can angle it. Yeah, I can. Yeah. There we go.
Ooh.
There's a door, and I said there were a couple windows, so I'll put those in blue, a very light blue here. There, and there.
Just so we're oriented, which way is like town center?
Oh, I'll show you. I'll help you out with that. I'm just
Okay.
with this window here real quick. No, but that's an important question. So first things first, let me move the NPCs aside. Bye, Jackie. I'm missing someone here. I'm missing an Ellie.
Hi.
We forgot Lee.
What?
Not quite. I gotta just bring over an Ellie. A giant Ellie.
Ooh.
So the other thatched hut is this direction, which means the town square is north of here. And you guys were passing by, kind of going this way, straight up to the north, when Patrick noticed out the window and the doors those flies. So let's just get Lavin here. So without actually entering the building itself, feel free to position your icons once I give you control of them. I think, nope, you don't all have control. There we go. Patrick's got that. Tom's got that. I think Ellie just needs her own. There we go. There you go. Yeah, go ahead, and as long as it's not inside the thatched roof, go ahead and position yourselves how you would like to kind of approach this thing. Okay. All right. So as you get closer and closer, you can definitely hear your ears are filled with the sounds of hundreds of flies humming and buzzing inside this thatched hut. Al is positioned right by the door and Patrick and Ellie are kind of directly perpendicular of it. Who wants to make the next move here? What do you guys want to do now that you've approached the hut?
I want to watch everywhere else.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All
like
right.
keep an eye out.
Okay. All right. I'll make a note of that.
Al's going to cautiously begin to look and enter inside.
Okay. Patrick, Tom, Ellie?
Patrick's just been approaching the building, and
Yeah, Ellie's just following Patrick's moves.
I'm approaching the building as well.
Okay.
I have both of my swords out. Neither of them are activated. I have the fire sword and the black light blade as my weapons.
All right. Okay.
I guess Ellie will be like holding her hammer like at her, if anything, just like as a comfort thing.
Sure. Okay. You got it. We got it. So as Patrick and Ellie and Tom continue to approach carefully, and Lavin is keeping an eye out everywhere. I'm assuming you're flipping between thermal and non-thermal just in case?
Well, I gotta. No, the cybernetic eye would be thermal because I haven't.
Oh yeah, you have two eyes, so you can do thermal one. And sorry, can you just please refresh me the range of the thermal vision?
That's a good question. I think I have.
Sure. Only because
2,000 feet.
2,000 feet. Okay.
No,
that's good. I'll go with Al first here. Al, you slowly begin to peek yourself inside the thatched hut itself. And what you see is first, most strikingly, a almost complete cloud of houseflies buzzing and whirring around like I don't know, like an infestation. It is an infestation. The furniture inside the thatched hut is pretty simple. These are single room abodes, although they're pretty large. They're approximately 30 feet in diameter. So the furniture is all spread out. You see wooden chairs, wooden tables, some shelving, a large bed, as well as some dressers, all kind of feng shuied around in a very circular pattern here. And in the center lies the bed. And in the center lies the bulk of the houseflies. And in the center, what appears to be two rotting human corpses. Their necks look like they have been inflated or swollen so much, it's like a tire or a ring has circled around their necks. It's so bloated. Their tongues loll out of their mouths, putrid and green and stinking. Their eyes are sunken in. Their hair is sweaty and asunder. They appear to be dressed in evening garb, like a night shirt and a pair of pajama bottoms. You can tell one is male, one is female. It is halfway through decomposing, but you can tell that they appear to be late middle-aged, perhaps 50 to 55 years old. And they are unmoving, and they are extremely dead. Everyone else, sorry, is it okay if I just describe everyone else?
Oh, yeah, I was just confirming what you said.
Sure. Patrick, Ellie, and Tom, as you begin to approach the hut and put your own heads or visions inside through the doorway, you will see a similar thing. Lavin, it takes a while because you're scanning around very, very carefully, but as your heat-sensed eye scans the huts to the north, you can see one of the furthest ones on the outer ring, far, far to the north. You can see a heat signature. It appears to be humanoid. It appears to be crouching low over something. It seems to be perhaps feeding or molesting or breaking something underneath of it. You can't tell because it's all cold. It appears that maybe its back is towards you, it seems. Its head is lolled down very low. And this creature is surprisingly thin. Not incredibly so, but a little bit thinner than you, actually. And Ellie, as you're slowly approaching, holding your hammer in for comfort, far in the distance, far off to the north, you still hear those horrible squelching sounds of, I don't know, have you ever seen a friend or a family member get a plate of chicken fingers in front of them and they just devour them, and you can hear the gristle and the fat and the skin
you mean
being
me
pulled
doing
off
that?
of it? Yeah, you. That's like the sound of someone
Imagine that
devouring
horrific
greasy
sound.
flesh.
The horrific
Yes.
grinding of your teeth. I think Ellie will just like the mixture of it all, like the sense like something's not right. She's gonna scooch in very close to Patrick to the point where she's just like directly behind him.
Okay, cool.
I would announce. Looks like we got targets. A target, far side of the. Was the far side of the town, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Might be the bad singer.
Looks like some kind of cannibal or something.
That's what it seems like.
From first appearance, or would I have to go inspect what? Does this look like normal decomposing? I mean, from what you described, it doesn't sound like it.
You will definitely need a medical check, and a visual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Will give you a bit of a penalty and give you limited information. If you want to try approach the corpses and do a more thorough examination, I'll negate some of those penalties. But if you just want to look in and kind of be like, hey, what's going on? Using your knowledge as a base, we can do that.
Body armor is hermetically sealed, right?
Oh yeah, it is completely environmentally sealed.
All right, then Al's going to say, I'm going to go take a look at those bodies and start approaching them.
Okay. You approach the bodies, and I would like you to go ahead and do a medical diagnosis check, please.
Got it. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Succeeded by 18.
The decomposition is natural. The amount of flies is almost unnatural in the sense that if flies do what they naturally do, the turnover from the stage of larvae to maggot to fly, it requires a longer period than these people have been decomposing. So there's something fishy going on with that, Their decomposition rate is normal, is natural. Their state, however, you can tell that this is far from a natural death due to the symptoms, especially around their necks and the cloudiness of their eyes, and the fact that these assumedly were two healthy individuals who didn't perish of old age. They were either poisoned or there was some sort of bacterial or viral infection.
Can I roll a pathology check to maybe try and determine that?
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. Failed by 28.
You're not 100% sure, but more than likely, this seems like it was probably a virus. It was probably a virus.
Got it. Last thing while I'm here, any distinguishing things on them as far as that might be able to identify them or next of kin or anything of that nature? Because I know you said they're wearing nightgowns, but
yeah, they're wearing nightgowns. Their facial features are a little sunken, a little decomposed, kind of tricky. You can tell, however, though, that the gentleman has 2 gold teeth. One, a very front tooth, top front tooth, and one kind of lower, closer to the incisor.
Got
Both
it.
gold. Yeah.
I'll file that away. Al will start approaching everyone back, and he'll say, "Hard to tell, but probably a virus. We should make sure to decontaminate our suits before we take them off."
All right.
Patrick, I don't like this guy singing. It's giving me the creeps. Would you stop singing? And Ellie finally just snaps and shouts that.
Lavin, you see this the figure that was doing whatever it's doing stand up at attention and turn towards the sound of that noise. However, he still appears to be in the hut. And Ellie, you do hear with your excellent hearing, huh?
Oh, thank goodness he stopped.
Is the door, like, is his exit in sight from where we are?
His exit is not in fact, you know what? Let me help you out here. I'll give you another visual representation of what you see in sight. Now, this isn't to scale for the distance, but this will kind of help you out. I'm actually going to just take my current thing and just copy it. Move this one down, much further down on the whiteboard. Oh, goodness. Now you're all inside of it.
Wee!
No, don't go there. There you go. Yes. There we go. Perfect. So this one, it's going to be far up north, and it's actually positioned like that. And the figure, which I will just mark off with an X, is currently here. Oh, an X, Inferno. You know what that is? Do you know how to make an X? You stupid idiot.
It looks
That's
like
not
a
even
nipple.
close.
There we go.
Okay. Don't. All
Oh,
right.
it did.
Leave my nipple alone.
Looks like a stick man with his arms in the air.
Oh, God. Damn it. Everyone's a critic.
Yeah.
It's like impossible to draw with a mouse, dude. Don't feel bad.
I know. Okay, but there it is. And it is currently slowly moving towards one of the windows, and you can tell it's crouched down low, like it's carefully peeking out of there timidly. That's what you can tell by the heat signature. But this is easily 500 feet away from your current position.
I want to get above that building so that I can monitor it if he leaves out the back door.
Okay. So you engage your jetpack,
So say like
and you
50 feet above it.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. You engage your jetpack and you fly towards the home, and you begin to hover around 50 feet above it. Before I put in any sort of reaction on his part, what is everyone else doing? You see Lavin engage his jetpack and fly directly towards a hut.
Al would say, "Wait, Mila, what's singing? What are you talking about?"
You don't hear that? Well, it's not singing anymore, so no big deal. I guess it's dealt with.
I did mention that there was a bogey or something out that way.
Yeah, I do remember that part. But Al didn't hear anything about the singing until now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And Al would be like, "Well, if there's a virus here," yeah. And he gets on the radio. "Lavin,
Yeah?
what do you see?"
Looks like some kind of cannibal or something. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
he's the source of this virus.
Possible.
Biting people.
Possible, or he's contracted it. Just be careful. Do you need backup?
I'm just making sure he doesn't go anywhere.
All right. I'm gonna start heading towards you just to be safe. And Al will start making his way. He doesn't have his power over. He's got to walk.
Okay. So you begin to walk towards where Lavin is hovering over. Okay.
We'll stay here.
I will start heading over as well.
Apparently speak for yourself, eh?
I will stay with Ellie, but I am also going to fool around with my hunting rifle. And just because Patrick has some He's going to pack what he thinks is the strongest ammo, and this might be some sort of interesting thing that might pop out. He's going to load it with one of his very sparse amount of silver. No, it's wooden-tipped bullets. That's what it is. Wooden-tipped bullets.
Okay. Well, Al and Tom start to approach it. Lavin, you're not inside the hut. That's you hovering directly above it. You begin to approach slowly. You can see, Lavin, through your heat signature. The creature kind of flinches a little bit as you begin to come by, but it doesn't move. You can tell it's kind of looking around inside the hut, looking towards the roof, but then looking back towards the window, out its window again. And sure enough, when Alan and Tom get approximately 200 feet away, you see what appears to be poking its head out the window of that thatched hut that Lavin is hovering over. A being that seems to be completely bald, gray sagging skin, with long jagged teeth and sunken black eyes. But it calls out to you and it says, living ones. Okay, good, living ones. Hello. And it kind of brings out like a weird skeletal clawed hand out and gives like a little wave out the window. You good, no harm, just eat.
Eat what?
Eat dead things. Person on ceiling.
Things that were already dead when you found them?
Yes. Down all dead. Smelled them all. So good eat. I eat.
Al will approach. You said he raised a claw out the window. So are there any other windows other than the one that the claw was waved out of?
Not that you can tell from your current vantage point.
All right, then he'll start heading for that window.
Okay. How close do you want to get to it?
Pretty close. Close enough to be able to look inside and see what's going on.
Okay. By the way, Ellie can hear this clearly, and Patrick, you can. This thing's voice is deep and bellowy. So and since Al was a couple hundred feet away, he was raising his voice too. So you heard that conversation.
Okay.
Tom?
I'm just gonna approach.
Okay. All right. So you get a comfortable distance towards the window, and you see the creature has kind of stood up in front of the window, and it is surprisingly tall. It's about 6'5", and the gray sagging skin off of its face is equal to that across its whole body. It's dressed in what appears to be rags, something perhaps scraps of cloth taken off of long rotted bodies, almost like a burial shroud that's kind of covering most of its body. Its teeth are long and jagged, at least a couple inches long, and they fill its entire mouth, and it kind of affects the way it talks and articulates words. You can see every rib in its torso and every joint in its elbows and legs and everything like that. And its big smile, although quite monstrous, appears to be mimicking some sort of grim. And he says, "Me no want hurt you. Me just want to eat. Hungry. You know. Need to eat."
Okay.
The bodies look older, like not a fresh kill.
Oh, well, so you're trying to peer inside of the, okay.
Window.
First I'm going to need you to roll horror factor.
Sure. I have a plus to that.
Should I do that too?
Yeah, the threshold is 12.
Got it.
Me too?
You can't see inside the building with the exception of heat signature.
Right.
So you're fine.
So I'm because this is fairly new to me, just add 3 to a melee roll. I mean, to a d20, right?
Yeah, roll 1d20. Add, add 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, you pass. Okay.
All right, and I got a 5.
Ah. Okay. All right.
So I need to do another roll.
No, I'll let you know. I'll help you out. No. This is something a little bit more descriptive rather than a combat-based horror factor.
Okay.
Alan Tom, as you approach a little bit closer, so you can peer past this strange, toothy creature. You look into the home in which it is currently residing, and similar to laid out, there are chairs and tables and beds and whatnot, but it looks like it's a charnel house, and not for beef or pork, but for human beings. You see body parts strayed around everywhere. I won't go into too many grisly details, but limbs, heads, torsos, hooked up like animal meat. You can tell, though, Al, that the heads and the flesh, what flesh there is still, resembles that of the preserved. It's not the preserved, but the sick people that you saw in the previous thing. Their necks are swollen up horribly. Their tongues have turned green. Their eyes are cloudy. But I don't want to tell you specifically how to react. But Al, because you succeeded in your horror factor, and maybe because of your medical knowledge and whatnot, you're able to swallow down maybe a sense of disgust. But Tom, this is freaking barbaric. This is really, really, really bad. And you're just glad you can't smell it, because this is not fresh meat. This is rotted, putrid meat.
Okay.
And what's even worse, now that you're closer to this thing, you can see scraps of rotted flesh, hanging off its mouth, and like greasy blood stains, as this thing was clearly eating these bodies.
Yeah. He's gonna turn away and try his best not to puke.
Okay.
Al,
Mm-hmm.
given how I rolled really, really well on that, Al's going to take a conversational tone, and he'll say, "This your home?"
Oh, no. Humans home. Humans all gone now, so it's where I eat. And when it's done eating, nice, big, fat, happy, then I will go back, I don't know, someplace else. I'll go to Blue Shiny Lines and head off to another place.
I see.
Yeah.
Any idea what happened here?
Cough, cough. Die, rest, run.
I see. And you're not afraid of cough, cough?
No, can't hurt by cough, cough. Not human cough, cough. No, not human cough, cough. Me no more scared of you with weapons and being you. Think not attack, but please no closer. One on the roof, real scary too.
Al will step back, hold his hands up, and he'll say, "If you mean us no harm, we mean you no harm.
Just
we were looking for a friend."
Friend? What kind friend?
A friend that can use fire.
Oh, no, don't know that kind of friend. Have different friend. Well, she not really friend. She kind of mean, but she not human, so, I mean, she treat me a little bit more respect, don't attack on sight, like you.
Yes. We can be a fearful people, and you
she more
are a striking image.
Oh, she much more scary. She got powers, and she not human. She, what she call, think. What you say, bad dream? What your word for you sleep, you close eyes,
Oh.
scary things enter head.
Nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare. She nightmare.
I see. Where might she be so that we can be sure to avoid her?
Oh, well,
Or if you'd rather not say, that's fine too.
oh, it's okay. She's not a real good close friend. You, if I tell you, you go find her.
Is she bad?
Mm. 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 He says she give me a lot to eat.
Oh. Yes, we might go find her.
Okay. Careful. But she probably close to next town. There's one about ways off. Next town. She likes tricking and making live people dead people. So she's probably there now, doing what she liked to do. If you don't make it, could you do me a small favor?
If I can.
Oh, good. He says for a moment. He says, "Can you not soil yourself when you die? I don't like to eat refuse like poopy and stuff like that. I like just meat. Rotted meat."
Al will actually smile and he'll say, I'll do my best, but I don't think any of us intend on being a meal for you, my friend.
Okay. Well, hope not. You seem pretty nice, and I'm good here. Sorry, he doesn't laugh.
Al would nod, and then he would say, may I offer you a bit of advice in return? Or a request?
Okay.
Don't
well,
attempt not to associate with her too much longer. I would hate for people to think that you are doing what she's doing.
Yeah. You're probably right. Besides, I have so much food here. I don't need more dead things. I'll be good. I'll have enough to travel on.
Actually, maybe I can help, but could we gather everything and put it in here? All your food, I mean.
He looks excited for a moment, but then maybe his wits get the best of him. He narrows his sunken eyes and he goes, "Why?"
Al thinks about it for a second, how to say this as simply as possible. Cough can be spread by your food, and it's dangerous to us that are still living. The less people with cough that are spread out, and the more concentrated it is, the less chance that others might catch it. And the less work you have to do to go get more food.
He pauses for a moment. He kind of looks around, and you see him kind of, Aladdin, you can see him, he starts to kind of pacing around his den. And those of you close enough, which is Lavin, Tom, and Al, and Mila, because she has super hearing. You hear him go. He's like mumbling to himself, like thinking to himself. He goes. He goes back to the window. And he says, "Okay, you bring one at a time, and okay.
You promise to
Don't
eat
want you all in here. Make me nervous. Of course I eat them.
Okay.
Yes, of course."
Okay.
Has Al lost it? Ellie is leaning in on Patrick.
Al will kind of switch on his radio. Al will switch on his radio and say, I know it sounds weird, but these bodies are dangerous. He's going to consume them and make it so that no one else can catch the virus. It's the same as burning them with fire.
It's like Al can read our every thought. Anyway, this is what happened, and Ellie will explain to Patrick what just happened.
Anyways, but then I'll radio you, and what do you
Yeah.
say?
Well, yeah,
What
he's
does that-
he's like radioing everyone in general because he knows what he's saying is a bit odd. But he'll say, "Look, this person is perhaps a bit distasteful, but I can't bring myself to call him evil. He's eating, and he's actually providing a service. These bodies are infected. He's eating the infection. That's a good thing." But
I'm sure the people.
yes.
I'm not on a radio, so don't mind me.
Al would say, but he has someone else who is doing this, who's killing the people. We should probably go find them before, well, Giovanni may be mixed up in this, if he's still alive.
Well, if you ever die of a virus, I'll be sure to transport your body to the nearest cannibal. In the meantime, I'm going to go see if there's some footprints or something around, some tracks to follow where this person, this unusual creature, is.
Al responds, he's not human. He's not a cannibal.
Yeah, but wait.
Splitting hairs, Al. Splitting hairs.
Ellie's
Not really at all.
Ellie's leaning in on like Patrick and being like, I don't think these, because she can just hear him like through her ears.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't think, like, if I die, I'd rather not have someone be like, okay, feed me to this thing.
And don't make poopy.
Poopy. Don't get me wrong, he's adorable, but I don't think we should help him.
I don't think you know what adorable means. He might talk adorable, but he don't look adorable.
He said poopy, that's pretty cute.
That's true.
But Ellie does not seem on board with this plan.
Sure. Well, while you guys debate... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Patrick does look, not on his radio talk directly to Ellie. Ellie.
I'm not the only one.
Ellie. And say, yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about this as well. On one hand, it destroys the entire virus, as well as, well, not the entire virus, but a good source of the virus that might be here, as well as let's just say this. Most beings in this world, most animals usually do feed on something, either alive or dead, and either elongated or perished a while ago. And that's just how their diet works. Though I still do feel for these people, I'm not sure if I really should step in with something that needs this to survive in this kind of scale.
Like, I get it. Like, really, I do. But, like, I guess, like, I have morals or something because I just can't get on board with this idea. Like, you guys can do it if you really want to. I'll just mosey on my way and maybe go help Lavin wherever the hell he went and let you guys deal with it. Like, I just, like, this is not, this does not sit right with me. I'm sorry, Patrick.
It's true, but the alternative is to tell him to stop eating.
The alternative is just to leave. Like, if he wants to eat or whatever, that's his prerogative, but I don't want to help him.
Patrick turns on the radio. Would it be okay if we just let him eat without needing to move it to his abode?
Yes, but I would at least request we burn the bodies that he's not eating then.
He's probably going to get to the rest of them if I have to guess.
Sounds like he's got a good setup in there.
Al hesitates for a moment. All right. I mean, that's a fair point. And this is, and Inferno, this is fairly remote, right? It's not like people are passing by every day.
Oh, this is extremely remote.
Okay, yeah, and Al will nod, not that anyone can see it, and say, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, Lavin, you're looking for tracks. or some sort of indication of where this creature went or something like that. Are you looking for physical tracks, or are you looking for any sort of other clue that might be in or around the village?
My first thought was just to look for some kind of footprint that looks
Something
not human.
not human? Okay, great. That's obviously tracking, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to try to increase your chances? It doesn't have to be necessarily be a skill. It could be a technique that you use in character, or a piece of technology that you have, or something like that.
Yeah, it was a combination of telescopic and microscopic vision would probably be helpful.
Yeah, it would be extremely helpful. Okay, great. Because the tracks are normally for animal tracks, I believe you can do your tracking, but I think it's for humans. It's like -20 or something like that.
It's not animal tracking. It's just tracking.
Oh, it's just tracking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confusing that with...
Tom's the one with animal tracking.
Yeah, sorry. I'm confusing that with Tom. That's my bad. Okay, it's just tracking. Okay. Yeah. Then go ahead and roll that tracking skill and make it easier by 10 due to your cybernetic eye and how you're utilizing it.
Success.
All right, you succeed by 24. Now, this is going to take some time for you to search around. So I'm going to tell you what your result is and then kind of go back in time while the other folks do whatever they would like to do. Lavin, you start to search around the town for approximately 20-25 minutes. And inside the town is a bit of a mess. Obviously, there's just so much foot traffic that it's hard to tell. However, when you start to get to the more perimeter thatched huts, you do, thanks to your telescopic eye, you're able to spot what appears to be a strange set of non-human footprints just outside one of the windows of the thatched hut. And you can tell they're indented, like it was something heavy that had been standing there for a long time. With that and the microscopic part of your cybernetic eye, you're able to help differentiate these footprints, which appears to be the bare footprints of a 3-toed creature. One has 2 large toes sticking out the front, with one along the back, almost trying to stabilize it, almost something that resembles perhaps kind of like a dinosaur or a bird in a sense. And those footprints lead away from the window and out into the bush. It is in the bush where for a moment you think you lose them, but thankfully you pick up the trail again. And your success was so significant, you're able to follow the trail for a very, very long time. It appears to be going east. And you've marked it so you can resume the trail when you reconvene with your friends. But what appears this creature is doing, this non-human creature is doing, is skulking along directly aside the dirt pathway that's leading on to the next village and keeping about between 50 and 100 feet away from it. And what's really interesting is the pattern of these feet. They are, it's not just a regular traveling gait, a regular stride, right? It's small, quick jumps, and then they wait and lurk what appears to be for a very long time, like hours and hours and hours, you postulate, before they resume. You've seen this behavior in stalking predatory animals, like big cats or wolves or something of a like.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But while Lavin is searching around there, Ellie, you mentioned that you're going to kind of leave it to your other friends, and you were going to kind of help Lavin or start searching around for stuff. What would you like to do?
I think Ellie will stay outside, not go in anywhere, but like just kind of look around the outskirts of town to see if there's any like signs of, I guess, either like vehicles or like someone on foot kind of thing.
Okay. All right. You don't absolutely have to, because we can do kind of just a general perception of or awareness thing, and I'll take your superhuman abilities into consideration. But is there any skill that you think you can use to help with this? If not, no big deal.
Let me just take a look and see what I got here.
Okay, give me just 2 seconds.
She can use her funny accent skill.
Yeah, I don't think I. That's right.
Okay, I'm back.
No, I can't really think of anything.
No, that's
like
no problem.
I have like basic stuff, but that's more like surviving in the wilderness,
Okay.
not fighting shit.
So you're not going in inside any of these thatched huts or anything like that. You're moseying around through the town, see if you can't find anything distinctive, where the people might have went.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll me D100, please.
Oakley. Ah, there's a rock.
No, it's a little bit more useful than that. Unfortunately, the information it gleans isn't all that great. You can tell the most recent footprints seems to be something between, you're going to guess, between 12 and 24 people. You see wheel divots in the ground, like wheels, but nothing like really heavy, like a vehicle, like something more like wagon wheels or something like that, moving outside the town. What you can really tell is this: there's the road that you just came on into the town that was going from the east to the west. Sorry, okay, how to explain this again? Now let's make it a little bit simple. There's the road that you took to enter the town, which was south of the town. And then there's another road leaving the town that is east of the town. And there's a heck of a lot more traffic going east and down whatever road that is than there is going into the town from the south.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But that's all that you can really determine after looking around for about 15, 20 minutes. Okay, so with Lavin and Ellie, taking a look around the town itself to track both monsters and humans, what would Patrick, Tom, and Al like to do? The strange skeletal gray flesh sunken eye creature is still eyeing you warily from outside the window.
I would say, actually, change of plans. I know it makes you a little uncomfortable, so how about we don't worry about that? You seem to be capable of doing it on your own. We're just going to bid you a nice day and go along our way.
You leave?
I need to go back to the other hut for a bit, but yes.
Okay. You said more live things?
I'm sorry?
You are more live people coming.
No.
We're not sending them, no.
No, we're not sending them.
You're not sending more live people?
No.
You just leave.
Yes.
You head towards Nightmare, hopefully not die, and you leave me here.
Yes.
Good! Bye! And then it sticks out its skeletal hand again outside the window and gives you this really awkward bestial wave.
Al says, "But my name's Al. Yours?"
He says, and he shrugs, and he turns back towards his meal.
All right, then. And then Al turns away and starts heading back towards the other hut.
Snubbed.
Yeah, I know. Inferno.
Hey, you said you were leaving, so he's
Right.
happy with this.
I would like to take a sample of the corpses for later study to see if I can determine what caused this.
Sure.
However, I would
we
need
won't get into
a
the
way-
details. I'll just say you
Sure.
will take a sample.
Right. Is there gosh, would I have anything in my medical pack that would keep this like, is it hermetically sealed or anything of that nature? Like a Ziploc bag or
I think you said that you've had.
Don't open
something
that
similar.
Ziploc. There's Ebola in there.
Don't eat that. That's Ebola. Don't touch your friends. All right. Anyway,
It's like write out with a marker on the Ziploc bag. Ebola.
Ebola.
Like E6, this is not for you and not for play.
Anyway, so no, sorry. Criana mentioned that you said you had something
I
previously.
thought you did have like some kind of container, didn't you? Am I crazy?
I did. Yeah, like some sort of like glass container. That is correct.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I have that. So, safe to say I'd have something like that in my medical kit.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to.
If at the very least, glass slides for samples and stuff.
Okay.
That you can keep away.
And I'll try and get what I would consider to be the most infected part, or a part that I'm at least sure has the virus in it, and then save that for later study to see if I can figure out what the heck this is.
Well, say you took flesh, hair, and saliva samples.
Got it. Cool.
Well, not really saliva. You don't really salivate when you're dead.
Right. Whatever
Flesh and
was
hair
there.
samples.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
No fecal matter. Not going that way.
No poo poo.
Probably could get some pretty good poo-poo samples.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, but it might have like, I'm sure it would have Ebola in there.
I'm the doctor. No.
Fair enough. I can't argue that one. You're more qualified than me, and that's the sad world we live in.
What about the flies?
That's a very good point. Al would want to pick a few of the flies.
So I just cheated,
thank you.
Roll to catch flies.
Right after I say I'm the doctor.
Roll to catch flies. No,
Got it.
Well, here's a question: how are you going to hold the flies?
Same thing.
In his mouth.
Yeah, it's in my mouth.
God.
I'd probably put them in one of those containers.
Okay. They'll probably suffocate, but you won't care, right?
No, I'm heartless like that.
Okay. All right. You catch 2-3 flies?
Yeah.
Happy with that? Okay, yeah. You managed to snatch a couple flies and put them in your sample case.
Okay.
All right. With that, my friends, I think Tom has his eyes are still a little bit watery, but you did not puke, even though you really, really wanted to. You really wanted to. It's taken you a couple minutes just to stabilize yourself.
Cool.
Okay. So, what would the group like to do next?
Yeah, Patrick's turn.
Oh yeah, sorry, Patrick. Yeah, go ahead.
Patrick would like to catch a fly.
Okay. You know what? It's a fly. It's not that difficult. You catch one.
Great. I like to bring it to Ellie.
Okay. Halfway through your investigation around the town, Patrick approaches you, Ellie, with something in his hand.
What's going on, Patrick?
Could you, by chance, tell me what this is? As he then opens his palm and shows you the fly.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. Is this a trick? Hang on. Inferno.
Yes.
As a player in your game, I would like to roll for my lore DB.
Okay, you got it.
Here I go. 84, I fail.
It's a fly.
It's a fly. Okay, hang on. Can I roll for demons and monsters?
Okay.
I fail that too.
It's a fly.
So after examining the fly, Ellie looks at Patrick and says, it's a fly?
Oh, I mean, do you know, an exact species? I mean, you were pretty good with the wasps before.
Like an exact species of fly?
Yeah.
Do flies have more than one species?
They do. Oh, wait.
Apparently God says they do.
A deep voice booms from the sky. Yes.
They do.
God, what?
I mean, I don't really know too much off the top of my head. I haven't gotten to the fly book yet, unless you have one of those.
No.
Yeah. I got nothing for you. It might be dead, though, now. Can it breathe? I hear those things will vomit on you at all times.
Patrick, let's go with the fly.
Fly flies away.
Oh, that was a good talk, Patrick. I think I'm going to get back to work now.
Patrick. Patrick does the peanut sad head walk away.
Dude, you hear a booming voice from the heavens saying, do. Anyway. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toes there, Patrick. Okay, now what would the group like to do?
Lavin would ask Al. He said, "Where did he say that that monster was, or whatever?" I heard you.
Close to the next town over. And like, did he motion like a direction or anything like that?
Yeah, he pointed towards the east.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so I found some tracks. Looked like some kind of three-toed bird or lizard, some kind of predator, but that doesn't really jive with a virus. So I'm not really sure what to make of this.
well, and he said it was a she. It's possible maybe she somehow spreads this virus to kill people, or it's possible too the virus is unrelated to what she's doing.
Why? Well, why does something that has a virus need to stalk prey? Especially if we're concerned about being airborne or something. I mean, how does stalking help annihilate a whole town with a virus? It's like a weird combination. I'm not sure how that works.
I don't know, though I will say that we have met many creatures that simply delight on the suffering of others. If it is a creature that likes to kill but doesn't like to fight, it would stalk no matter what method it uses.
You'd see Patrick come towards you, Al.
Mm-hmm.
I want to check something out, but I don't know what I'd be looking at. Can you help me?
If I can.
Okay. Patrick brings you to one of the many full dead bodies.
Okay.
And points out at its neck. Why is that swollen? Can you see what's causing that?
Yeah. Would my first diagnostics check have given me that information?
Yeah, you said you remember. You said you pretty. Remember, I said you didn't roll very well, but I said you're pretty sure it was a virus.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty sure it was a virus.
So Al would say, "Well, I think again that it's a virus that caused swelling in the neck."
No, like, could you cut into it if you would?
Oh yeah, and that's what I was wondering. Inferno is like my first diagnostics. Would it show actually was it swelling of blood, swelling of pus, swelling of?
Oh, sorry, I misinterpreted when you said what was the cause of it. The reason is a build-up of viscous fluid in the neck. More specifically, the lungs fill with fluid, killing the person, and then it travels up this esophagus and pools. Yep.
Yeah. All right. I would pass along that information.
Any bite claw marks on these corpses?
There's lots of bite and claw marks in the corpses inside the creature's hut.
Not those ones.
But the ones we're studying, yeah.
Okay, the ones you're studying in the couple in the bed there.
Yeah.
They do not have any. What you can tell, they do not have any claw or bite marks.
Or possibly something like I'm thinking like some of these dinosaurs like spit like goop, like poison goop or toxic goop.
All right, sure. I could do Inferno. I mean, if it's possible, I could do more of like a more in-depth autopsy to determine such a thing.
Sure.
Would that still be diagnostic skill? MD.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I failed by 19.
Okay, so you do the autopsy, but it sounds like Lavin wants to kind of check out these corpses as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm looking for an insertion point.
Okay, roll me a
of some
D100.
kind.
I know you have the microscopic view on your eye, so that's going to help.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Al, you're beginning to prepare one of the bodies, we'll say the male one, for a more in-depth autopsy. But perhaps you are stopped because Lavin first notices something slightly peculiar. It was easily missed on your first diagnosis because of where its location was, which is inside the left ear, Lavin. You can confirm this with your microscopic viewpoint. Deep in the inside of the ear, almost outside of the, I guess, the exterior hole, you see what appears to be, it's not blood, it's not caked blood, and it's not any other fluid that you know of. It's like a thick, deep, like a sappy, like a brown, deep, amber, sappy type of substance. And it resembles almost like a tar or a venom because it's stuck in there and it's like it's caused the skin in the inner ear to bubble considerably. And it looks pretty toxic.
So, and Lavin says, so this thing sneaks up and poisons you in the ear? What are we talking about here?
What? And Al would like look at the ear.
Yeah, you look in the ear, and if you choose to check the ear of the other person, it's there too.
Al will take out one of the small. I can't imagine he has too many of these, so maybe this is the last one. But he'll take a sample of this.
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
As you scrape the sample onto the slide, it bubbles and hisses on the glass. Thankfully, it doesn't eat through it, but it's like still alive or something.
Al pauses, looks at Lavin, and says, "All right, so maybe not a virus."
Huh. Yeah, I got nothing.
So here's a dilemma. If this woman thing is poisoning people to kill them, then the sooner we stop her, the better. However, if I have some time to study this, we might better understand what we're up against.
Well, I think time is against us.
Yeah,
If Tom's buddy wandered off this way, we better go deal with this thing before she goes from town to town and, does this. Lavin gestures across the area.
Oh, we have at least a bit of time. It looks like the creature really only strikes at night.
Well, it's 6:15, so you got like 3 hours, and the next town is. Well, if you look to your map, you notice that the next town is a good, at least, I'd say about 20 miles away. Oh, and it's also Fletcher.
Oh, good. I remember Fletcher.
Sorry. Fletcher is significant because that started the campaign. That was the town that they liberated from bandits.
Yeah, that place.
Oh, crap.
Patrick, you know a lot about monsters and stuff. Come here. Come look at these footprints.
Okay.
Patrick will look at footprints.
Okay, so with the footprints and the information that you got from Alan Lavin about the toxic in the ear and some of the strange conversations from that gray skin monster inside the hut, I'll have you roll demons and monsters, please. And Ellie, if you want to do the same thing, please feel free.
I have demons and monsters too, actually.
And Lavin, if you want to do the same thing, please feel free.
Does Ellie get called over? She'll do it if she's around. I don't know if she's there.
Let's just say you'll eventually get this information soon.
But it's a rock!
It's a rock monster. All right. Succeed by 13. What does Mr. Succeed by 37? Okay. Ellie, you're not too sure, unfortunately. You. But let's see here. I just want to differentiate Lavin and Patrick's.
We could say like Lavin remembers something after Patrick says something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Like Patrick starts the description and Lavin's like, "Oh wait, yeah, that's familiar," and then he kind of helps fill it in. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the big indicator is what the ghoul said. What do you call something that you say a bad dream, a nightmare, right? And the full name that people have given this creature isn't nightmare. It's typically more mare, shortened to it. It's a demonic entity who appears as a monstrous hag. They're known to be extremely intelligent, and they delight in tormenting and torturing every intelligent life form they can get their hands on. And they are known to be, if there's a mysterious death or missing children or sudden and surprising insanity, there's a likelihood that a mare might be responsible for that. They're also known for being quite cowardly, and they enjoy to strike when their prey is asleep before they attack with their natural psionic abilities and insidious concoctions.
Oh, we gotta stop this.
And Patrick, you know a little bit more information in regards to their natural abilities, which is they can see perfectly in the night, and they can see the invisible no problem, and they're also known to be able to turn invisible at will. And rumors have it that they can even fly.
Like explaining a superhero.
Villain.
Well, super villain.
Yeah.
Supervillain, excuse me.
Evil invisible woman.
Yeah.
All the women powers unite.
But with that, go ahead, Tom.
I think we should definitely start heading that direction. But as you were saying,
towards Fletch. Well, I was thinking, since you guys have a good idea what to do and everything, and you have a direction, I think maybe we'll wrap up this session and pick it up with you guys on the road towards Fletcher, trying to deal with this mare and whatever the hell she has in store for the people in the area.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Unless you guys
Agreed.
want to keep going, but I think
Nah,
this is a
sounds good to
natural ending point.
Yeah, it's midnight.
Yeah.
We should probably stop here.
Okie dokie.
It's a good spot.
Beware
Alright.
to not have a nightmare. Oh.
Everybody cover your ears while you sleep.
Yes.
I already do
Anyways,
that.
Thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys next Wednesday for 3 Galaxies and next Sunday for the next session of this series.
Yeah, and just so you know, we have a new Twitter account for PSYLP, so follow us on Twitter to see all our tweets about streaming and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We also love you.
Yes, we do.
We do. Yes, mostly love you.
Mostly.
We do have favorites. I'll point that out. We have favorites.
Wow. Anyways,
Wow.
thank you guys for watching.
Fight for it!
Fight for her love!
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next
Like
time.
Star Trek. Here's some weapons. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.